Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Sunday, July 28th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $sign ORION-NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Seattle Mariners versus the Chicago White Sox. It's the rubber match, game 3 of 3. Let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and I'll get into the starting lineups. Happy Sunday morning and afternoon, everyone. And on the thumb, on the left, we have Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. And on the right, the stud for the White Sox, Luis Robert Jr. Now let's get into the starting lineups first for the visiting Seattle Mariners. We are trying to go for the brooms. We are trying to go for the sweep. Leading off for the Mariners, at center field, who's been hot as of late, Victor Robles. And this has really been kind of a blessing in disguise. I don't think anyone anticipated Victor Robles being the best hitter on the team, but he has been fantastic since he's come over. I can't wait to see what he's going to do today. Let's go, Robles. Batting second, playing left field. We're waiting for more Mariner photos to be taken by the photographers, but in the time being, we'll do it with the WBC, Randy Arozarena. Let's go. It's that Arozarena effect. Once you get a player like this coming over to your team in Seattle, everything has been money. Batting third, catching tonight for the Mariners, Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, who's been extra hot as late. He forgot how to play defense, but he's hit 3 home runs in the last 2 games, and we really needed that. It is Polo, second baseman, Jorge Polanco. Batting fifth, DHing today for the Mariners, Mitch Garver. And I was kind of a little disappointed to not see Voss in the lineup at DH, but you're going to probably go back and forth with Garver and Voss. And I like both of those guys in that particular position, as well as the backup catcher role once in a while for Mitch Garver. Batting sixth, playing third base this afternoon, Demo Dylan Moore. Batting seventh, playing right field, Mitch Haniger. Batting eighth, playing first base for Seattle, Tyler Locklear. And batting ninth, getting an opportunity to play today at shortstop, Leo Rivas. And on the mound for the Mariners with a 7-7 record, an ERA of 3.41, it is Miller time. Bryce Miller. And we're going to need a good outing out of you today, Bryce. Let's go. Now let's get into the starting lineups for the home Chicago White Sox. Leading off for the White Sox, playing shortstop, Nicky Lopez. Batting second, playing right field for Chicago, Tommy Pham. Batting third, playing center field, the best player on Chicago. Will he still be on the team by Tuesday? Nobody knows. Luis Robert Jr. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, playing first base this afternoon, Gavin Sheets. Batting fifth for the White Sox, DHing today, Eloy Jimenez. Batting sixth, the former Red Sox left fielder, Andrew Benintendi. Batting seventh, playing third base for Chicago, Paul DeYoung. And batting eighth, playing second base, who had a good outing last night, Brooks Baldwin. And batting ninth, catching this afternoon for Chicago, Corey Lee. And on the mound for the White Sox with a 6-7 record, an ERA of 3.07, Garrett Crochet. And like I mentioned multiple times on the stream, make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health, addiction, depression, anxiety. A lot of us are going through these things on the daily or have in the past. So if you feel like you're slipping a little bit into the darkness, make some minor adjustments to your daily routine, put a little bit of effort out, and you'd be really surprised on the results that you can get for your mental health. If you're not exercising, make sure you're going for a walk a few times a week. I'm doing about an hour and a half a day. I don't expect anybody to do as much as me because I have a pup, but I guarantee you, if you get outside a little bit more, you'll feel great and your mental health will benefit from it. Number two, if you're not eating healthy and you're eating fast food every day and it's slowing you down and getting you sluggish, try to put a little bit of an effort to eat a little bit healthier. And we know the economy is bad right now. Food costs a lot, and it's cheaper to get fast food and eat garbage food than it is to get good food. But if you can find a way to, kind of maximize the best that you can with the healthy food, it'll make a big difference in your life. And number three, make sure you're listening to at least 30 minutes of music every single day. You'd be really surprised on the triggers that has with mental health, and it'll really help you get out on the other side, climb out of the darkness a little bit quicker so you can win the day. Let's go, baby. Seattle Mariners, Chicago White Sox. We're going for the brooms. We're going for the sweep. Hope everyone is having a fantastic early morning or afternoon. Kenny in the building. What's good? Daniel in the building. What's good? Let's go, baby. And I know it's early. I'm here obviously in the West Coast, and it's only 11 a.m. And we'll see, what the turnout is going to be. Sometimes when we end up having streams at, 9:30, 10, 11 in the morning, it'll be a little hit or miss. People are at church, people got work, people are just waking up. But I want to make sure that we're on the grind. And then on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to have 3 really tough games on the road against the Boston Red Sox at Fenway. Thursday, the Mariners have off, and it's the very first day of the NFL preseason, the Hall of Fame game, which I will be doing on Thursday, and that'll have the Houston Texans versus the Chicago Bears. Unfortunately, we're not going to see any of C.J. Stroud and Caleb Williams, but I'm still going to end up doing that. And then as soon as that's over, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're going to be going to Philadelphia and playing one of the best teams in baseball, Bryce Harper and the Philadelphia Phillies. So we're going to be grinding pretty much every day for the next 7, 8, 9 days. So I hope everyone is locked and loaded. I hope everyone has had a fantastic weekend up to this point. And like I mentioned multiple times, we want to make sure we're going for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, and we always try to shoot for 100 in donos on every single stream. You boys got a lot of bills to pay. Let's go, baby. I'm ready. Bryce Miller, let's go. Let me get all situated here. Let's go, baby. I'm ready. And hopefully Bryce can have a good outing. And you could probably say at this point, Bryce is probably our weakest pitcher. Right now you got Logan Gilbert 1, George Kirby 2, and then probably I would say Brian Wu when he's healthy 3, Luis Castillo 4, and then Bryce Miller 5. But if this is our 5th best pitcher, that's pretty solid, and that's why we have one of the top 3 pitching staffs overall in the MLB. The problem is we can't hit. But now Victor Robles has got over 300 average. We got Randy Arozarena all the way from the Tampa Bay Rays. The vibes are good. Polo's hitting home runs. Cal's hitting home runs. Garver's hitting. Demo's been able to get some home runs. Things are starting to come together, and the deadline is going to be on Tuesday. So we're going to have to see in the trade deadline if like a Luis Robert Jr. or a Vladdy is going to come over to the Seattle Mariners or not. We'll have to kind of wait and see, but we definitely need at least one more bat and possibly one more addition in the bullpen. But with Randy joining the squad, everything has changed, as well as a bullpen guy. We tried Stanek for a little bit, but then he started to kind of suck ass towards the last few bullpen appearances. So we traded his ass to the Mets, and we brought in Jimmy Garcia from the Blue Jays, 3-0 record, ERA of 2.70, and this is a great bullpen guy to add to the roster. So far, with the addition of Jimmy Garcia and Randy Arozarena, it's got to be an A+. I don't think that any fan anticipated this happening. We were kind of crossing our fingers, hoping that it was going to happen. And there is still an opportunity to add another bat and another bullpen guy. And it may not be a big name like Luis Robert Jr. or Vladimir Guerrero Jr., but I think that's okay. We have a lot of talent on this roster. And sometimes by just adding one or two pieces, the vibes have changed in more of a positive manner. We're hitting now. We're getting obviously more home runs. The confidence and the swag is back. Mariner fans feel good. And again, we are one of the top 6 teams in the American League. So as long as you get into the dance, anything can happen. Now you got the New York Yankees, right? You got the Baltimore Orioles. You got the Cleveland Guardians as the top 3. But don't you for a second ever sleep on the Seattle Mariners, the Minnesota Twins, or the Kansas City Royals with Bobby Witt Jr. You never really know what could happen as we get closer to the playoff season, and I'm very excited to see what we get here. Captain Oreo in the building. Let's go. First pitch to Victor Robles. Victor, that's kind of a rare swing at a first pitch, almost like a Julio, one away. I was hoping that Victor would kind of take a little bit of time in the box, and he has been fantastic. He's been our best hitter since joining the Mariners. Let's go, Victor. Hopefully he'll end up having a 2-for-4 day. Next up, left fielder, Randy Arozarena. And I promise once we get more photographers taking more photos of Randy in a Mariner uniform, I'll be able to pull those on the screen for you guys. But as of right now, there's not a whole lot that's going to fit the screen, but I'm hoping that we can get some good production here at our Randy Arozarena. Let's go. 1-0 pitch. Arozarena in there for a strike, a little out of the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. We're in the top of the first. Let's go, baby. Hope everyone is having a fantastic weekend. Let's get it. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss for Randy. Behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Captain Oreo, my guy, how are you? Let's go, baby. Crazy how you can add 1 player and everything changes. Pitch is high and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And obviously, Randy is very well loved in Tampa. Obviously, in the World Baseball Classic, he became a household name. And I'm very excited to see the transition from the Rays to the Mariners. Arozarena fouls that one back into the crowd there in Chicago. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And again, on the mound for the White Sox, we have Garrett Crochet, 6-7 record with an ERA of 3.07. Arozarena, little dribbler. And there we go. We'll take it. Hey, a little cheap, his first hit for the Mariners yesterday, he had to run out hard on a little bit of a weak hit into the infield, but he was safe. Same kind of thing here again. He doesn't get a whole lot of power on this baseball, but he's able to run it out to first base, and there is no attempt from the pitcher, Crochet, to go to the first baseman there for the out. Nice job, Randy. Next up, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Homered yesterday, and I hope that he can continue the hot streak. I'm doing great, man. I've been up early. I've been up since like 7 a.m. I had a hard time sleeping. I ended up starting to watch The Boys there on Amazon Prime, Season 1, Episode 1. I really like it. I was kind of optimistic and wondering how good it was going to be, but it definitely is a must-watch. Got a long walk-in with Paisley around 7 a.m., and I've just been kind of waiting for this to get started. So definitely excited about the opportunity to get the sweep here and get the brooms. And then we got a 3-game set against the Red Sox, which is not going to be easy on the road, but I think we Mariner fans are up for the challenge. Let's go, big dumper! Back, gone! Let's go! Oh, baby, yeah! And I put Cal Raleigh on the thumb for a reason, because I had a feeling he was going to go yard today, and there it is. Back, 379 feet. Randy Arozarena comes home as well. 2-0 Mariners, baby! Let's go, Captain. Man, this is good. Let's go. I wish we could play the White Sox every game for the rest of the season. Let's go. And not only that, Big Dumper hit it from the right-hand side, not his left-hand side. So he's actually getting him on his weak side, but we'll take it. Next up, can't play defense, but he's got 3 home runs in the last 2 games. Second baseman, Jorge Polanco. Can we go back-to-back homers here? Let's go. And that is something that we would have never said a few weeks ago. It would have been more like back-to-back strikeouts or back-to-back-to-back-to-back strikeouts, not back-to-back-to-back home runs. And I like where this team is trending. 2-0 Mariners, baby. Let's go. Phone is already blowing up early. Cal Raleigh, baby. Hell yeah. Great start. Let's go, baby. Polo connects on that one, drifting foul, 1 ball and 2 strikes, man. And again, baseball is one of those sports, it's a long, long season, right? And you're going to go through a lot of ups and downs. But when you're first place in the American League West over the Astros and Rangers, and then you end up going on a skid and losing 20 out of 29, it hurts. But we're back on track now. Polo, little dribbler, to third base, throw to first, 2 away. Let's go, baby. I know you like that. 2-0 Mariners. Great start. Hopefully we can do that against the Red Sox, but obviously they're a much better team than the Seattle Mariners, and Boston could end up making a wild card this year as well. So we can't take them lightly, and I don't think we will. Next up, DHing here for Seattle, Mitch Garver. Now, I think Jason Vossler has earned the right to be the everyday DH, but they still want to sprinkle in Garv once in a while to make sure that he can still feel like he's a part of the team instead of just being the backup catcher here and there. And I get it, but you're going to definitely have to monitor that because Voss has got to hit every single game that he started at DH. So, and there's going to be games where Garv can DH. Garv can obviously be the backup catcher, but I think I would lean a little bit more towards Voss than Garver, at DH personally. But it is what it is. But I imagine that they're going to try to sprinkle in, a little bit of both. But they better have Voss at DH 80% of the time, only 20 for Garv. Throw to first, and the inning is over, but the damage is done. Let's go. What an electric start for the Mariners. Cal Raleigh with a 2-run blast with Randy Arozarena on board. 2-0 Seattle. Tridents up, baby. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Again, we want to try to get 20 likes within the first hour, even though I know it is early, this Sunday morning, afternoon, depending on where you're located. So if you haven't smashed it yet, please do. It really helps out with the algorithm, and we've been getting a lot more views just based on you guys supporting the channel. So right now, we're 1 more away from 10, and it looks like about half of y'all haven't smashed the like button just yet. We're at 9. And again, we want to try to get 20 within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall. And then obviously 100 in donos on every single stream. Nice job, baby. Next up here for the Mariners on the mound, 7-7 record, an ERA of 3.41, our 5th best pitcher, and that's a pretty good pitcher to have if he's your 5th best. Bryce Miller. It's Miller time, baby. Let's go. And leading off for the White Sox, shortstop Nicky Lopez. Batting second this inning, right fielder Tommy Pham. And batting third, center fielder Luis Robert Jr. It would be crazy if Luis ends up being a Seattle Mariner, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not really sure about Vlad either, but we'll have to kind of wait and see. It's not going to hurt my feelings if we get Vlad and Luis Robert Jr. or if we don't. I don't want to sacrifice too many of the guys in the farm system. And again, if our farm system was bad, then I wouldn't care. But when our farm system is in the top 2 out of 30 teams in Major League Baseball, and we got like 8 or 9 guys in the top 100 out of 30 teams, you got to be very careful on what you do with those guys. Let's go, baby. Brian in the building, Mike in the building. Let's go. Great start. I wish we could play the White Sox every day. I know everyone's thinking the same damn thing. Instead of going back-to-back home runs, it was like back-to-back strikeouts. And again, it's not going to be like this the rest of the season. There's going to be games that are going to be tough. We're going to be going to Fenway, playing the Boston Red Sox in a 3-game set, and we are going to have a chance to win 2 out of 3. But if we play bad, we could get swept by Boston or only win 1 out of 3. So I'm hoping that we bring that energy and that obviously good vibes to Boston, and we can find a way, to do the unthinkable. Let's go. Bottom of the first, 2-0 Seattle. 2 balls and no strikes to Nicky Lopez. We got to make sure Bryce doesn't give up 1 to 4 runs within the first 2 innings. When he does that, we typically lose. So if he can pitch pretty clean, within the first 6 innings, but especially in the first 2, that's usually,
kind of sets the tone. You either know Bryce is going to be really, really good or he's going to be really, really bad. You can say that for any starter on the Mariners. Let's go, baby. Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. 3 balls and 1 strike to Lopez. They're in the zone for a strike as Nicky was trying to make his way to first base. Pump the brakes, Nicky. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall. Let's go. Bottom of the first, 2-0 Mariners. And if you're just tuning in, Cal Raleigh, big dumper with a 2-run blast in the top of the first. Lopez popped up. Robles is there with Randy Arozarena. 1 away. Next up, right fielder Tommy Pham. And a great effort by Randy yesterday and today. You know, with weak infield hits but running hard to first, this could easily just be a 1-0 lead. But since Randy hustled the first, you know, we got an extra run by just his hustle, and I love that. First pitch in there for a strike, 0-1 count to Tommy Pham. 266 average, 5 homers, and 18 ribbies in 2024. Let's go, Bryce. 0-1 pitch to Pham. Popped up behind the plate. Fading. Oh, it stays in. Okay, fading foul. I thought maybe it would come down, but the wind caught it there late, and it went into the crowd. Nice souvenir for a Pham. No balls and 2 strikes behind the count 0-2. Oh, I haven't heard about that. I don't know. There's too much history with the Cubs and White Sox for them to leave Chicago. You know, Oregon obviously is always going to be a top 5 candidate, you know, for an MLB team. We were looking at like the A's, but I don't know if we really have the land. We definitely have the fan base for it here in Oregon. But again, if the A's would have come to Oregon, it's not like I would have changed my alliance with the Seattle Mariners to the Oregon A's or whatever the hell that they would have been called. But I don't think that Oregon is going to be getting a team anytime in the near future. Oklahoma, I don't know about that. You know, we'll have to wait and see, but that's the first I'm hearing of that. But I don't know. I mean, obviously the White Sox are, you know, arguably the worst team in baseball. 27 wins, 80 losses, 17 wins and 36 losses at home, which it usually should be the other way around. But there is a lot of history, you know, with the White Sox and the Cubs in Chicago. I don't really see them leaving. Questionable strike 3 for Bryce Miller, but we'll take it, baby. There we go. It's Miller time, baby. Mariner Moose is out early. First K for Bryce Miller. We love it. Let's see if we can get 5 or 6 more. And normally, if this was 2022 or 2023, I would say all our starters are capable of 8 to 10 Ks. But the only problem is that, you know, the way that things have been going in 2024, it's more like 4 to 7 Ks with a lot of ground outs and pop-ups. But if we win the game at the end of the day, that's all that matters, right? First pitch in there to Luis Robert Jr. for a strike. Last 9 games, he's only been batting 114 with 22 Ks, not like the player that we really need to come into Seattle with those type of numbers. Still a good player, though, and arguably the best player on the team, besides Eric Fetty. 1 ball and 1 strike. Luis Robert Jr. batting 214, 12 homers, and 24 ribbies. I guess it kind of falls in line with a lot of the Seattle Mariner players are doing up to this point, But since we have Robles, we can always move him to right field when Julio comes back from the injury. So Arozarena is our everyday left fielder. Julio will be our everyday center fielder. And I think we should just move Victor Robles to right field as long as he's comfortable there, which I feel he is. And, you know, there's not really going to be a need necessarily for a right fielder. Maybe a first baseman to, you know, add a little bit of a competition to Tyler Locklear. That would make sense. You know, and then obviously another bullpen guy or 2 if we can get one. 3 balls and 1 strike to Luis Robert Jr. Big swing and a miss. Count is full. 3-2 to Luis Robert Jr. Let's go, baby. Let's get the brooms, baby. We're going to need it going against the Red Sox at Fenway. Big swing and a miss. Bryce gets him to chase. Nice job, Bryce. 2 Ks in the first inning. That's a lot better than giving up 2 runs like he used to in the past. Nice job. Mariner Moose fucking loves it. Mariner fans love it. Let's go. Good shit, Bryce. Way to bring that electricity. And I feel that now that we can hit, I think that's less pressure on all of the pitching staff as well. You're going to see better outings, out of not only Logan Gilbert, but George Kirby, Luis Castillo, Brian Wu, even though we have to monitor his injury status, and Bryce Miller. I think that everyone now can take a kind of a sigh of relief, and they can breathe a little bit easier knowing that if they give up 1 to 3 runs, it's not going to be a guaranteed loss for us. They can give up 1 to 3 and we can still find a way to climb back, but the magic number for the Mariners will always be 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits. We hit that number with this pitching staff, we're going to win 90% of our games. And every once in a while, we can win a 1-0, 2-1, 3-2 kind of game. But statistics show when we score 1 to 3, we're terrible. We have to be able to get to that higher number. So we'll see where it goes. Let's see who's up next here for the Seattle Mariners. Next up for the Mariners in the 6th hole, third baseman today over Josh Rojas, Dylan Moore. Batting second, playing right field, Mitch Haniger. And I'm kind of surprised that they didn't deactivate him and they did Ty France first. I think Haniger was more deserving to be cut from this team. But again, it just gives us another individual to play in right field until we maybe get someone better by Tuesday. And batting third, first baseman taking over for Ty France as we let him go, Tyler Locklear. Now, that'll be interesting to see what they do. And like I said, you just want to be able to play somewhere where you have support, right? And obviously with the A's, they boycotted, obviously, the owner. And, with the stadium that's got capacity of 30, 40,000, and you got like 900 people showing up, obviously they don't care. If the team's not going to invest on a winning culture, the season ticket holders aren't going to show up. But what I will tell you is once they end up making the move to Vegas, they're going to sell out. They're going to get a lot of drunk people that just love baseball, football, whatever it may be that they can get their hands on. There's a lot of rich people in Vegas, and I think it is going to be a hot commodity once, Vegas gets the A's there. And I don't think that they're going to be a shitty team forever. Chances are they're going to pull some good money into that team, and they'll be closer to like the Angels than being at the very, very bottom. And obviously we know it's going to be the Rangers, Mariners, and Astros for quite some time. But once they move to Vegas, I would assume within 5 years of being there, maybe they'll have enough to maybe have a team that's worthy of maybe, I'm saying maybe, a wild card down the road. But it all depends on who they draft and how much money they put into that team once they go to Vegas. PJ in the building, what's good? 3-1 count to Dylan Moore from Garrett Crochet. PJ, good morning. How are you? Let's go, baby. We're trying to get the brooms out and get the sweep. Demo on the 3-1 pitch. Back, over his head. Luis Robert Jr. Ground rule double for Demo. Let's go. Hell yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. Let's go. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. We're at 10. We hit double digits. We need 9 more. We are at 11 now. 9 more to get to 20 within the first hour. Let's go, baby. Nice job, Demo. Next up, right fielder, Mitch Haniger. Haniger hasn't really been very good for us at the beginning of the season, but as of late, he's been able to hit a random home run here and there and get a random single here or there. But definitely Haniger shouldn't be playing every day. He's one of the weak links in this lineup. That has been facts. But obviously, with Julio and JP out, there's going to have to be a couple guys that are going to get a little bit more playing time, like Haniger and Demo. But as long as they're producing, that's all that we care about. Just like Jorge Polanco. Hopefully he can actually play some fucking defense. I'm glad the bat has woken up. 3 home runs in the last 2 games, but his defense is absolutely terrible. Top of the second, 2-0 Mariners. Runner at second, Demo with a ground rule double. Haniger, good eyes, pitches high from Crochet, 3 balls and no strikes. Now, Crochet is the starter, El Hermanos. There hasn't been anyone that's been booted out of the pitching role yet. Obviously, in game number 1, that happened, right? Where we put up, obviously, 8 runs in the first inning, but both starters are playing, Crochet and Miller. Nothing has changed. All right, nice little walk there to Hanny. Now we got runners on first and third, Crochet and obviously Corey Lee having a little discussion, trying to make sure this game doesn't get any more out of hand than it already has. Next up, one of my favorite new additions besides Jason Vossler, let's go Voss, Tyler Locklear, a younger, cheaper version of Ty France. Let's go. No, Arrighetti never started. It's always been Crochet and Miller. Top of the second, 2-0 Seattle. Let's go, Tyler. Big swing and a miss. Behind in the count 0-1. Let's go, Locklear. 0 for 4 day yesterday, and he's been pretty good of getting a hit almost every single game, just like Jason Vossler has, coming up from AAA, the Tacoma Rainiers. 0-1 pitch, Locklear. Pops it up a mile. Should be a routine play. Out number 1 with runners at first and third. There goes Locklear. It's okay. Hopefully Tyler can go at least 1 for 4 today. Next up, playing shortstop. Normally doesn't get to play ever, Leo Rivas. And let's see what Leo can do. He's got some speed on the bags. I don't know if anyone really anticipates a whole lot from him, but he is batting .333 with 2 hits at 6 at-bats, no homers, no RBIs, in limited action for the Mariners. But more than likely, it's just going to be a ground out or a pop-up, you would assume. Bunt attempt for a ball there. 1 ball and no strikes. Let's go, Leo. This was kind of a head scratcher to me at shortstop. I think I would have rather had Demo at shortstop and, kind of move some of these other guys around. But again, I know they're trying to let everyone play. No Luke Raley, no Hollywood Rojas, no Vossler. But again, this is, we're going for the sweep. We've already kind of beat them up in the first 2 games. So I guess you can afford to play, maybe not your strongest lineup, since we have to rest some of those other guys like Raley and Rojas for the Red Sox in a 3-game series starting tomorrow. So it makes sense. I just like to be able to have our best out there every day. Rivas showing bunt. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Rivas. Let's go, Leo. One ball and 2 strikes. Rivas chops that one towards third base foul. Count remains 1-2. Crochet's already at 31 pitches in the second inning. Not good for the White Sox. No problem, hermanos. No problem. Pitch is high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. But definitely will let us see, with the addition of Jimmy Garcia and Randy Arozarena, if we can match up to the Red Sox and the Phillies, because that's what we have next in the 2 next series. So hopefully we can win 2 out of 3. The Phillies is going to be much harder than the Red Sox, but still, anytime you're on the road, I feel the Red Sox can definitely be a wild card team. They're right there. Again, you got the Yankees and you got the Orioles, but Boston is kind of that sleeper team that no one's really paying attention to. And we already know the Phillies and Dodgers, as well as the Braves and Brewers, are the top dogs in the National League. But you can't keep your eyes away from the Padres as well, another sleeper team getting hot at the right time. Crochet, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runners at first and third. Leo Rivas, 2-2 pitch. Rivas pops that one behind the plate, foul. Good souvenir for a fan there. Count remains 2-2. Let's go, Leo. Two pitch. Nope. Throw to first base. Haniger is safe. And I like that we were able to beat up Crochet early. You want to make sure that these guys get rattled early. And again, sometimes you got to wait, like with Fetty, into the 5th inning. But you just don't want them to go 6 or 7, because then that means that they're obviously lighting it up against the Mariners. Rivas, little dribbler, force out to second, double play, and he's safe at first. A run scores, 3-0 Mariners. Nice job, Rivas. I mean, it wasn't exactly what we had planned there, but we'll take it. They went for the double play. They only got the force out at second. And Rivas, with his speed, is safe at first. Nice job hustling to first base. I like it, baby. 3-0 Mariners. Next up, center fielder, the best hitter on the Mariners, Victor Robles. Let's go, Victor. Cal with a homer early on when Victor Robles got on as well. Let's see if Victor can get on again. Throw to first. All those throw to first aren't going to help you, Crochet. Top of the second, 3-0 Seattle. Runner at first with 2 outs. Crochet's at 35 pitches in the second inning. Not good. 1-10 by Robles. Go, go, go! That's what I'm talking about. And we were talking about this earlier, that we should be bunting 2 to 4 times a game, because it really makes a difference in this lineup, especially if you have a lot of guys that are striking out. If you can just position the baseball with execution perfectly like Victor Robles did, perfect, man. Right in between the shortstop and the first baseman, there's nowhere to go. Good speed by Robles. I love it, man. This guy has been a hidden gem. It's like one guy that we normally would have had to get in free agency, where we got him for a bag of Doritos. Next up, left fielder, Randy Arozarena. And obviously when they have more photos of the Mariners in his new uniform, we'll get those up. Let's go, Randy. The Arozarena effect with that aura is in effect. 1 for 1 with a single already. Let's go. 3-0 Mariners. Get the brooms out, baby. I love the bunt. You know what? Honestly, it's like my favorite, because, especially when a team is having problems, but then when the team is starting to figure it out, right, you start bunting, they don't expect that. They're expecting you to try to go for, a home run, or you're trying to pull it, to the opposite field. You're going for singles and doubles and the occasional triple if you're lucky, right? Uh-oh, Randy, back, fading foul. That would have been his first home run in a Seattle Mariner uniform, but fades foul with that Chicago win. But I love the bunt. Just like me in football, I appreciate offensive line, defense, coaching, play calling. Everyone, obviously is on the bandwagon for quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends for the skill position. But for me, I like the positions that don't get the love. The O-line, the guys that actually do all the dirty work, the defense, the play callers, the OCs and the DCs, the strategy of the game. And I love bunting, man. There's not a lot of guys that can execute it perfectly every single time. But this team is good enough. If we did it 2 to 4 times a game, I think it really could pay dividends for us. Let's go, baby. 3-0 Mariners. Top of the second, runner first and second with 2 outs. Crochet already 40 pitches in. He's sweating out there a little bit. 1-2 pitch. Arozarena chops that one foul. He's battling. Count remains 1-2. Let's go, baby. Good vibes. And I haven't felt these kind of vibes out of a player since Eugenio Suarez, where things are going good, things are going bad. He always has a smile on his face, and he's always playing with a lot of energy and enthusiasm, and it rubs off on the other players, and he's already made a huge impact since he's been here. Little dribbler. No play at third. Let's go. Randy, all 3 of Randy's hits have been like weak infield hits, but he's been able to run them out. And I fucking love it, man. Of course, home runs and big, hits that go all the way to the wall are great. But, what's really impressive is a guy that barely hits the baseball, that can move the runners over and can still get safe at first. What a guy, Randy Arozarena. Next up, big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. He already has a 2-run home run. Will he go for a grand salami to give us a 7-0 lead again against the Chicago White Sox? We'll have to wait and find out. Get the brooms. I might have to go to the garage and grab the broom, but I won't, because this is the Chicago White Sox. We have to act like we've been there before, right? It's like you don't want to be able to rub it in and talk shit because the sports gods, they're always listening. So if you end up getting the broom and you start dancing around, in the second inning, acting like everything is good, then what will happen? We'll get swept by the Red Sox and swept by the Phillies. So we want to make sure that we're happy on where we're at right now. But it definitely looks like we're going to get the brooms out and sweep this team, which we should. I mean, this is one of the worst teams in baseball. We played them in a 4-game set in Seattle. We won 3 out of 4. This is what we should be doing against a bottom feeder like the White Sox. Big Dumper chops that one foul with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the top of the second. Let's go, Big Dumper. And if you're just tuning in, the Big Dumper had a 2-run blast after Randy Arozarena ran out a very hard, little, weak single that was into the infield, and Cal blasted a home run from the right side to give us a 2-0 lead. Let's go, baby. My guy, Big Dumper. Love him. Give that guy the money. We gave Julio a bunch of money, but they better give Cal Raleigh a lot of money. I want to see Cal Raleigh, Logan Gilbert, and George Kirby be a Mariner for life. But we might not be able to afford everyone. Popped up, and we leave 3 stranded, and that is unfortunate, but we ended up getting a cheap one out of Leo Rivas with a little cheap RBI, and we got a 3-0 lead. Obviously, 6-7-0 would be great, but at least for the White Sox sanity, they got out of that inning. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. We want to try to get 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall. We got like 30 people in the room and only 10 likes. And I know you guys are listening to me and we're, watching the game and going about it. But if you can just take 5 seconds out of your day, hit the like button, come back to the chat. I greatly appreciate it since we have about 30 in the room and we only have 11 likes. We need 9 more to get to the goal in the first hour. So if you are watching, do your boy a solid and smash the like button. It'd be greatly appreciated. And for the people that have been putting in that effort by, smashing the like button, we have been able to, increase our views overall in the channel. Instead of getting maybe somewhere between 300 and 500, now it's somewhere between 1,000 and 2,500. And obviously when you hit the algorithm and the metrics, YouTube sees that, and they're going to be doing more recommending of the channel based on how many likes that you have within the stream. So if you can do your boy a solid, it'd be greatly appreciated. Let's go, baby. Let's see who's up next here for the Chicago White Sox in the bottom of the second. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. 30 to 50 likes and 100 in the donos. Let's get it. Next up for the White Sox, 0 for 1, shortstop Nicky Lopez. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a K, right fielder Tommy Pham. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a K, center fielder Luis Robert Jr. Let's go, Mariners. Reflecting the building. What's good, brother? Any type of photos that you want me to be able to, get you for last night, let me know and I got you. Yeah, it looks like we're going to get the brooms out, and I just like the way that we're playing. We're bunting. Randy Arozarena is not really hitting with a lot of power. Very weak singles, but again, he's being able to run, very hard to first base, and there's no throw there. So I really like the, Arozarena effect that he's had on the rest of the squad, and it just feels like, we're a brand new team. And when you lose 20 out of 29 after being in first place for months on end, it feels good to get back to our winning ways. Next up, Gavin Sheets. I was about to say Lopez, Pham, and Robert just got out, but that's ESPN for you, not updating their, roster. I just go based on what I read and what I see there, but sometimes they're a little lagging. Hey, I try to do the best job that I can, and again, I feel that there's a lot of people that are on YouTube that are better than the people that are on TV. I mean, depending on, unless you really like who your broadcasters are, for your particular city. And, some cities have amazing announcers. Luckily for us Mariner fans, we got great announcers in Seattle. But I do appreciate the compliment, and I'm always going to grind it out. Yes, Astros need to lose. And how the hell did the Dodgers blow that game yesterday? We need help. We need the Astros and Rangers to lose as much as possible. And when you end up having a 5 or 6 run lead and you're the Dodgers and you can't hang on and you let Bregman hit one to the moon, come on, Dodgers. I might have to call my dad about that one. 2-2 pitch. Sheets popped up. Arozarena is there. And he goes into the net, and it goes foul. We don't want Randy to get hurt there. But I hope everyone is having a fantastic Sunday morning/afternoon. No NASCAR for 2 weeks, so I'm a little bummed out about that, but at least we got the Mariners on here and we're playing well. And then we got a 3-game set against the Red Sox. Thursday, Mariners are off. We got the Hall of Fame game, Texans and Bears, which I'll do. And then I believe we have a 3 or 4 game set against the Phillies after that. So we're really going to be tested after this series against the Red Sox and the Phillies on the road. Rosarena's there. And that's a good thing about Randy, too. Not only can he hit, and not only does he have a good attitude, not like Jazz Chisholm, right, but he can actually be a good defender as well. Next up, DHing for the White Sox, Eloy Jimenez. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. I think since we had over 1,000 strikeouts, before the All-Star break, we're probably going to finish number 1. And, it's not only for 2024. We were pacing to be the number 1 strikeout team in the last 100 years. But since Victor Robles is at 300, or right around 300, I think that's going to carry over to some of our other players. If we can get Jason Vossler to play DH every day and get some of these other guys in a kind of fixed position, I definitely feel the strikeouts are still going to be there, but instead of striking out 10 to 15 times a game, maybe it'll be like 8 or 9 times, where we're going to have strikeouts, but it won't be like doubled up. Instead of getting 16 strikeouts in a game, maybe it'll be like 8, but we'll still end up being the number 1 strikeout team this year. We had way too many before the All-Star break, so. But I don't think it's really going to matter, at this point, because I think we've turned the page. Nice little blooper there by Eloy Jimenez, and Bryce Miller is being looked at here as the baseball came back and hit him on the high part of that ankle on the bone. Hopefully he's okay. Come on, Bryce. And we already know Brian Woo's hamstring, he's very brittle. I don't know what it is about guys in the Pacific Northwest that I love, like Brandon Roy, that went to the University of Washington and was a part of the Portland Trailblazers, would have been a Hall of Famer, in my opinion, if he never got hurt. It's like, I feel like certain guys, I don't know if it's just genetics or what it is, but certain guys are just brittle, and obviously it was bone on bone for Brandon Roy. So I love my boy B-Roy, but with Bryce and some of these other guys, we're have to definitely monitor, the injury status, especially with Brian Woo, because it just seems like he keeps re-aggravating and things start to flare up a little bit more than we would like. And that's why he went out a little early yesterday, but no one really mentioned it. Hopefully Bryce is okay here. Oh, yeah. And hopefully when we get to the All-Star game in the future, if they don't care about profits and selling ugly jerseys, they'll go back to wearing whites, for one side and grays for like another, or colored jerseys. And we can get back to them wearing their team hats and their team jerseys. And one team will be white, one team will be, gray or whatever, and then we can actually enjoy the All-Star game based off that. But the MLB, I don't want to say they're as greedy as some of the others, with the NFL and NHL and the NBA. But a major reason why they do those All-Star jerseys is because they think people are going to buy them. But hello, if they're ugly, you're not going to get sales. And the only people you're going to sell to are the drunks that are there at the game because they just want to be able to have a jersey to put on if they didn't have one going to the game to begin with, But I feel like the All-Star jerseys have been terrible, as of late within the last 5 to 8 years. And it's only like one jersey is good and the other one is ugly. It's never been both have been awesome, in my opinion. So it is what it is, but we'll see. Little chopper there for Benintendi. Nice double play. Normally it goes to second, first, and then first base, right? That time you tagged first and threw to second, but we'll take it. 3-0 Mariners. Yeah. And again, I love baseball, man. Like, when I was young and when I ended up meeting Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey Sr., and Sandy Koufax, I didn't take it for granted. I always knew it was a special day and a special moment, right? But obviously with basketball, with Jordan and Bird and Drexler, I love the NBA back in the day, not so much anymore, but it's like you get older, I feel that baseball, it kind of I don't know how to really describe it. It's like one of those things that like you can play little league ball, you can have love for baseball, but I feel as you get older, right, the appreciation and the love for baseball, it comes tenfold. And then you get this like resurgence of excitement with baseball. And I think a big part of it is like going to games with your friends and your family and to be able to enjoy that experience. Because to me, going to a baseball game is just as enjoyable as going to an NFL or college football game. Different type of crowd. Football crowd is a little bit more drunk and more rowdy, right? But I really do enjoy it. And obviously going to an NBA game, it's not really the same. So I feel that with baseball and all the little intricacies that it has with double plays, triple plays, we don't really have the shift anymore. But just everything that, has to do with baseball, I absolutely love. And it's an honor to be able to cover the Seattle Mariners and to be the number one YouTuber every day for the Seattle Mariners. And as the Mariners get better and better as the years go on, the channel will do better and better as well. And I can't wait for that. Let's go, baby. Let's get it. 3-0 Mariners. But again, like I had love for baseball, but my love for baseball after I turned maybe 20, like when I was super, super young, I liked it, but I didn't love it. But ever since I turned, 20 and now I'm 42, like the love that I have, it's on a whole nother level. But also too, being able to get a Julio, Aaron Judge, and Kike Hernandez foul balls, when you go to the games, it kind of takes your fandom to a whole nother level when you actually get a baseball at a game. And I'm not saying that if you don't get one, you're not going to love the game, but it definitely takes your fandom to another level when you do get a ball, a home run ball or a foul ball. There we go. Nice job. Jorge Polanco, he might have forgotten how to defend, but his bat is heating up. And this is the Jorge Polanco that we gave that $10 million, $11 million per year kind of salary. And this is the guy that we used to see on the Minnesota Twins. Nice to see him emerge finally for the Seattle Mariners. Next up, DHing for the Mariners, Mitch Garver. And I would rather see Jason Vossler play everyday DH than Garv. But again, you're going to try to sprinkle in, a different lineup, usually in the rubber match, right? Because that's our shittiest lineup. I mean, that's why Leo Rivas is fucking in the game. That was kind of a head scratcher. Like, why the hell is Leo playing? But again, we've already won the first 2 games big. We've scored 16 runs in the first 2 games, 19 in the first 3, and we're not done. So again, you want to make sure you're getting playing time, for other guys. But at the end of the day, when JP and Julio come back, hopefully, and I know it might hurt Garv's ego, but, he should just be the backup catcher and emergency DH. Vossler has got to hit every game that he's been there, and I guess it just depends if it's a right-handed bat and a left-handed pitcher, and that's why they went with Garv today instead of a Crochet left-handed pitcher going against Voss as a left-handed hitter. But even a lefty versus lefty, I have more confidence in Voss than I do in Garv. But a couple games ago, Garv did go 3 for 3. So, that is I guess a slight improvement from a lot of the 0 for 4 days that he had. And as soon as I say that, he strikes out. Next up for the Mariners, third baseman today over Hollywood Rojas, Dylan Moore. And really the one guy that's kind of getting the raw end of the stick is Luke Raley. He had an opportunity to solidify himself as the everyday left fielder or right fielder, but his bat has not been good. Him and Hollywood Rojas have been struggling quite a bit, but even though we've seen them get slightly better, but I guess that's a good problem to have when you got a guy like Luke Raley just kind of sitting there waiting, and maybe we'll get a pinch hit opportunity out of Luke later. Little bobbled ball there by the White Sox. What's new for them? Fielder's choice. We got runners at first and second now with 1 away. Let's go, baby. Next up, Mitch Haniger. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Let's try to get to 20 likes within the first hour, which is 7 minutes away. I haven't checked in a second. Let's see where we're at. And if you haven't smashed it yet, please do. We're close. We only need 2 more. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Uh-oh, 1 more. Who's going to be number 20? I know someone's got a backup account. Let's go, baby. 1 more like to hit 20, and we want to hit 30 to 50, and then hopefully we can get to the goal. And if we don't hit the goal on the 100 in donos, hopefully we can get at least a decent number this early morning afternoon. Nice error there for the White Sox. We'll take that. 2-0 pitch from Crochet to Mitch Haniger. Runners go. Sliding into third. Safe. Go, go, go. So no, go. Hold it. Go back. Oh, there we go. Good decision by Polo there, not to go. I thought it was going to get a little bit away from Paul DeJong, and we could have got a cheap run there, but all it would have ended up in is an out. So good job by Polo keeping his eyes on the baseball. And that's what happens when Paul DeJong is not paying attention. You're getting the same kind of reaction there out of Nicky Lopez and Brooks Baldwin. You've got to keep your head on a swivel. And the last thing that you want is your defense to start playing shitty like Jorge Polanco. He can hit now, but he can't defend. That's why we're not going to see Ryan Bliss anytime soon, because his bat is starting to heat up. Luis Robert Jr. I think he cares. He's just in a slump right now, and he just kind of has like a different type of batting stance where it kind of feels like it's lazy and he doesn't care. But again, if you were on the White Sox with a 27-80 record and you're the best player on the team, and then you're just kind of going through the motions, you probably would be acting like Luis as well. But again, if Luis ends up going to the Mariners or the Dodgers or the Phillies or the Brewers, and some good team captures him, you're going to see a better Luis Robert Jr. But he has been in a little bit of a slump in the last month or so. Haniger, oh baby, let's go. 5-0 Mariners, baby. The Boo Birds are coming out. Sounds like Seattle when we were booing Polo a month ago. Wow. Another error by the White Sox. Paul DeJong, you're going to lose your job. Nice job, Hanny. Woo! I love it, baby. Next up, first baseman Tyler Locklear. And the best part about everything, Lazaro Montes, still a part of the Mariner organization, right? Harry Ford, still here. Colt Emerson, still here. Cole Young, still here. Very exciting. Ryan Bliss, still part of the squad, obviously in the minor league system in the farm. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the case by Tuesday. If we get Vlad, we're going to be giving up a couple of those guys. But we'll have to wait and see if that ends up being the case. Let's go, Locklear. You went 0 for 4 today. Voss has gotten a hit every game that he's played at DH. And it took us 60 games to figure out that Mike Ford was the guy. And hopefully after Mitch Garver ends up struggling today, that they can understand it doesn't matter if it's a left-handed pitcher. Play the best player. And Jason Vossler led the PCL in RBIs as a league, as a whole. Put him in there against a righty or a lefty. It doesn't matter. Voss is a better hitter than Garver, period. Big swing and a miss, and there goes Locklear, 0 for 2. Come on, Tyler. If we ended up giving up Ty France for you, and again, if Locklear keeps struggling, they're definitely going to be looking at a first baseman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. So we'll see. Next up, shortstop, Leo Rivas. But this is definitely the weak spot in the lineup at first base. DX in the building. What's good, brother? Hell yeah, Lewis Hamilton won. Uh-oh, Russell got disqualified. Oh, underweight. That's tough. I got no NASCAR for 2 weeks, man. I'm a little bummed out, man. I love watching NASCAR every Sunday when it's not NFL season. It's like I got to have my NFL and I got to have my NASCAR on Sundays. But at least the Mariners are on today, so I'm good. 5-0 Mariners, baby. Miles in the building. What's good? And obviously, I like the move of getting rid of Stanek, and I like Jimmy Garcia. And it seems like him, Santos, even though Santos gets hurt a lot, and then we got Andres Munoz. That's a nice power 3. But I want one more. I want a guy in the 6th and 7th inning, like a Matt Brash. Give me one of those guys, and then give me a first baseman. And then if we get that, then I think everything is going to be good. You got Robles that'll move to right field. Julio will be at center. Randy Rosarina in left field. JP at short. And then again, you can rotate some of the other guys and whatnot. But again, we don't really have too many weak links at this point. I mean, Haniger in right field and Locklear at first could be upgraded, but that's about it. Everywhere else is pretty nice. Crochet gets out of the inning finally, but the damage is done. 5-0 Seattle. Sydney in the building. What's good? Let's go Mariners. Oh, no F1 until August? Okay. But we definitely need another bullpen guy or two, and I wouldn't mind getting another right fielder or like another first baseman type of player, you know. But again, remember, we do have a lot of talent. Lazaro Montes can play right field, but he's not ready yet. Harry Ford can play catcher, right? Second base, shortstop, or third, right? And then Cole Young, and Colt Emerson can play second base and shortstop. So like a lot of these positions where you're seeing Polo being able to hit, but he can't really defend. And then you got Ryan Bliss, you know, that has got good speed and he can defend, but he can't really hit. It's like we need to be able to find a player that can kind of do both. But it's definitely interesting to see what happens. And again, we got a couple more days until Tuesday afternoon to see if we end up pulling the trigger for one or two more individuals. And if we're really lucky, maybe we'll get three more, you know, maybe one more hitter and two more bullpen guys. And I think that could really help us. But at the very bare minimum, one, you know, regular everyday player, maybe at first base, and then maybe one bullpen guy. We need a minimum of two guys, but I'm hoping for three, but we'll see. Bucks, Rays, Bolts in the building. What's good? All right, DX. Appreciate you, brother. I think Demo and Haniger are going to be out of luck unless they want to put Demo at third, but Rojas is a better third baseman. You know, because Demo is only playing right now because JP's hurt. When JP comes back, it's JP's spot. He's going to be the shortstop, you know. And then obviously Haniger in right field, that could be Victor Robles. So once Julio is there at center, and then Rosarina in left field. So it's a pretty badass outfield. You know, like we're starting to actually put together a very strong 1 through 9. And once we have everyone healthy, we're literally not going to have any weak spots on the whole team. You know, like in the batting order, except for maybe Locklear if he goes on a slump. So we'll see how it goes. Next up, Paul DeYoung, which it feels like he had 4 errors in that last inning. So we'll see if he can end up making up for his shitty defense. Obviously, we saw that defense isn't really Jorge Polanco's strong suit either, but he has hit 3 home runs in the last 2 games. Big swing and a miss, 1 ball and 1 strike, 5-0 Mariners in the bottom of the third. Get the brooms out. Let's sweep these guys. Let's go. We just broke the 1 hour mark. Did we end up hitting the goal? Bucks, Rays, Bolts, did you smash the like button for your boy? Or DX? Where are we at? Yeah, baby, we did. We got to 21. There we go. 9 more to get 22. Now we need 8 more to get to 30, and we want to hit 30 to 50 overall. Thank you, guys. Popped up. Victor Robles is there. 1 away. And we'll see if we get a dono train going at some point before the stream ends. No, we won't end at a 0, so we'll see who ends up helping out with that particular aspect of the stream. Next up, a guy that had a good game yesterday, Brooks Baldwin. A very young player, inexperienced, but showed a little bit of swagger and a little bit of aura in the box last night. 207 average, 0 homers, and 1 ribby. Obviously, limited action. He hasn't really got a whole lot of time to play, but I like what I saw yesterday. I believe he had 2 or 3 hits yesterday for the White Sox. All the drip. 0-1 pitch from Miller to Baldwin. That one chop foul. I mean, we got to, you know, you look good, you feel good, you play good. You look good, you feel good, you stream good, right? There's a lot of people that stream, but they don't got the swag, though. Bottom of the third, 5-0 Mariners. Bryce having a decent outing so far. And normally when Bryce is bad, he gives up 1 to 4 runs in the first 2 innings. And that's not the case today. Thank God. Baldwin pops up. Should be a routine play, you would think. Rosarina comes in and says, let me take care of this. 2 away. Next up for the White Sox, catcher Corey Lee. And I'm very excited about the Red Sox. The Hall of Fame game with the Texans and the Bears, even though we're not going to get a lot of the starters. And then we go to the Phillies in Philadelphia. So we'll really see where we stand, you know, against a team that's going to be a borderline wild card team in the Boston Red Sox. I could definitely see them making the playoffs this year. And then the Phillies, one of the best teams overall in baseball, not just in the National League, but overall. 0-1 pitch from Miller to Lee. On the corner with the four-seam fastball for a strike. Crowd doesn't like it. Behind in the count 0-2. I mean, especially since Victor Robles has been able to get on this heater. You know, it's like that's really been the big X factor for us, him and Randy Arozarena. So 0-2 pitch. Pitch is outside. 1-2 count. I got a package for, I got some new microphone pieces that I can actually, because these ones I've had since I pretty much had this microphone set. You know, I've had these for about 8 years, and I just ordered brand new ones from the manufacturer, so it should have a little bit better sound, and obviously a little newer, you know, and obviously over time, you know, they get worn out a little bit with the foam, so, and it just got delivered to my door, so I'm going to go grab those here in a second, but after this inning ends. Excited, man. I probably should have ordered new ones a couple years ago, but you know, they've lasted the test of time, that's for sure. Next up, shortstop Nicky Lopez. Rays 3.5 away from the wild card. Nice, dude. Corey Lee, a little dribbler there. Lopez going all the way to third. He's okay. Good effort by Nicky Lopez. You know, I'm not a hater. You know, I like the effort. You know, you're getting your ass kicked. You're the worst team in baseball. You know, put a little bit of effort out. I mean, of course, I want us to win. I don't want them to come back, but I appreciate hustle, regardless if it's on the Mariners or the White Sox. Nice, solid hit there for Nicky Lopez. And you're seeing Corey Lee, obviously hustle there. I like it. Runners at first and third with 2 outs. Next up is Tommy Pham. Don't get any crazy ideas, Tommy. No homers, no ribbies. Pitches inside. 1 ball and no strikes with runners on the corners. Bottom of the third, 5-0 Mariners. Let's go. 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the first for Tommy Pham. Uh-oh, there's the RBI by Tommy Pham. 5-1, Seattle. I guess that's what I get for clapping and appreciating hustle. But at least it keeps the White Sox fans engaged, you know, where it's not just like 10-0 like it was in game 1 and the game was over. Nice job by Tommy Pham there. At least the White Sox fan base has something to cheer for. They haven't had too much to cheer for in the last 2 games. I mean, considering we put up 21 runs in 3 games so far, and we're not done. Next up, center fielder Luis Robert Jr. And I don't think we're going to trade for Luis Robert Jr. If I had to put money on it, I would probably say 100% chance that we're not going to go for him. You know, he's a center fielder. He could play left field or right field, but the way that Victor Robles or Arozarena, and then we're going to end up, you know, having Julio back here shortly, I'm not really sure if that's really a player that we would need. You know, we need more of a first baseman, you know, and obviously relief pitching. So, I mean, we could always use another outfielder, but I don't want to give up 3 top farm guys for, you know, a guy that's been slumping in the last month. And we know he's a good player, arguably the best player on the team, right? Luis Robert Jr., besides Eric Fetty, the pitcher, but he's not worth 3 of our farm guys, not in my opinion. Now, if we had to give up 3 for Vlad, but we had Vlad for the rest of his career, I would consider it. But I really like the guys that we have in the farm. I really think that those 4 guys that I mentioned earlier could all start for the Mariners at some point. And if you think about the depth that we already have on the team now, that's saying something. Lazaro Montes in right field, Harry Ford at catcher, third, second, or short, you know. And then obviously Cole Young and Colt Emerson in the infield, you know, getting shortstops and second baseman and guys. So it's like we got a little bit of everything. You know, we got infield, we got catcher, we got outfield, and we went heavy on the pitching staff in the draft. Hell, we got that guy in the draft, right, that can pitch right-handed and left-handed. That's the best prospect in the draft as far as upside and where we picked him, you know, around the middle of the first round. It's going to be very exciting. Can you imagine him pitching from the right side and then pitching from the left side? It could be a big X factor for us, especially if Bryce Miller or Wu continue to struggle or get hurt. You know, then we might be able to throw him in there. Very excited of the direction of where this team is going. Bottom of the third, 5-1 Mariners. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. And obviously, being able to develop pitchers, the Mariners are going to be one of the best teams to do that. So I'm very happy that we went for like 1 billion pitchers in the draft. We already have plenty of infield and outfield in the farm system. So it's nice to be able to see us just stack on stack on stack. 2-2 pitch to Luis Robert Jr. Well hit. Back. All the way to the wall. Haniger with a great catch. And that saved at least a couple runs, baby. The only problem is that if you trade for Vlad, but 3 of the guys we give up end up turning into studs and starters down the road, I mean, is it really worth 3 for 1? You know what I'm saying? That's something that we have to keep our eye on. End of the third, 5-1 Mariners. I got to go grab my package for my new microphone screen covers here. So give me 1 sec. All right. I don't need to put them on now since I already have these ones on and we're in the broadcast, but definitely excited, man. Should give me a little bit. I mean, they're going to be they're exactly identical to these ones that I have now. They're just newer. So, but hopefully it'll give me a little bit better sound. And, you know, obviously having the same windscreens for 8 years and they haven't fallen apart altogether. Now, the side of the microphone that you can see here, they look pretty clean overall, but on my side, they're beat up. And like the foam is coming off and some of the microphone is like, I can see it through the foam. So it was definitely time to get some new ones. So Paisley's in here now. All right, let's go to the top of the fourth, 5-1 Mariners. See who's up here next for Seattle. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 2, center fielder Victor Robles. Batting second, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Swag. And batting third with a 2-run blast earlier in the game, big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. Let's go, baby. We got a pitching change. We got Cool coming in. Crochet said, fuck this. I got beat up enough. Yeah, but you have to understand, Jason, it's not going to be 2 guys for Vlad. It'll be like 3 or 4 or 5. You know, it's going to be a lot. Or it'll be like 3 farm players that are in the top 20, you know, in the farm system, or top 50. 3 top 50 guys, you know, and you got to think out of 30 teams, back all the way to the wall, ground rule double by Victor Robles. So if there's 100 players in the farm system and there's 30 teams, right, and we got 8 guys out of that 100 on the Seattle Mariners, do we really want to give up 3 top 50 players that could be starters or potential all-stars for just 1 guy? You know, like that's what you have to think of, you know, and it's not like they're going to give up Vlad for nothing. You know, they're going to try to get as much as they can, you know. Now, if we were able to give them, like, you know, 1 good farm guy, a low farm guy, and like Mitch Haniger or something, you know, that's fine, you know, or like a Ryan Bliss or something, you know, even though I like him. But in reality, though, that we probably have to give up like 3 of the top farm system guys, maybe a player, and then another guy that's like not in the top 100, but maybe will be a decent player 4 years from now. You know, it's not going to be just like 1 little piece or, you know, 1 good player, 1 shitty farm guy. Oh, we get Vlad. Like, we're going to have to give up like a majority of what we have built. And you got to think, out of 30 teams, we're number 2 in the farm. I've been following this team since like 85, and we have never been number 2 in the farm ever. So trust me when I say that these guys have a chance to be very, very good. I mean, you've already seen what Voss is doing. Locklear's got some potential. Bliss, and then we got, you know, 4 or 5 guys, not named those guys, that could be better than those guys. So that's what I'm saying. You know, we haven't really had good luck, you know, by letting guys go. You know, look what happened with Adam Jones when he ended up going to the Orioles, turned himself into an all-star. So it's like, you got to be careful. Vlad is a name, but how good would he be on the Mariners? You know what I mean? Obviously, it would be exciting having him, but, you know, we don't want to be able to have him for just 6 months or like a year and a half. You know, that's not worth giving up 3 top 50 guys just for a rental. You know, it's not like the Mariners are good enough to win the World Series, you know, like this year, more than likely, unless we get really hot in August and September and October. And we overachieve and we get to the ALDS, ALCS, which I guess is possible, you know, with our pitching staff, and now the hitting is getting hot. But in reality, you got the Orioles, you got the Yankees, you got the Guardians, you got the Twins, you got the Royals with Bobby Witt Jr. and us. And then the Astros are sniffing our ass, you know, getting real close. Same thing with the Rangers. So, you know, I don't know if we're championship caliber yet. We look like a playoff team, but I'm not sure we're in the Dodgers, Phillies conversation, Orioles, Yankees conversation yet. We're getting there, you know, and I know we're not afraid of anybody, but I think we still got a little ways to go. Yeah. Mitch, Haniger, and Mike. Yeah, Mike Ford's not even on the team. Mike Ford left the team a long time ago. Otherwise, if Ford was on the team, we would have had him at DH. There we go. Go, go, go. Nice hit by Cal Raleigh. RBI. 6-1 Mariners. Woo! Let's go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everything is coming up. Mariners. Next up, second baseman, Jorge Polanco. And can we play the White Sox every day? Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. Who's going to be the first to start on the dono train? Let's go, baby. We want to make sure we get no donuts. We want to make sure we get at least a little bit of support. I got a lot of bills to pay. We need 7 more likes to get to 30. Let's go. 30 to 50 likes, and we always shoot for 100 in the donos. Halfway through the matchup already. Top of the 4th. 6-1 Mariners. Polo. Oh, connects on that one, but that's an easy fly out to right field. 1 away. There we go, Jason. Hey, every dollar counts, you know, regardless of what people think. Now we got 99 to go. And even if we can't get to 100, you know, you want to make sure you're not getting nothing, right? Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. Let me know what you want to do for a couple photos, and I got you. 99 to go. Plus, my lead mod has a day off because he lives in Hawaii. So it's a 3-hour difference. So right now it's 12:17, but there it's only 9:17. So when the game started, it was only like 8 a.m. So I usually try to give him some time to be able to, you know, hang out with friends and family and whatnot, so he doesn't have to wake up at the crack of dawn. You know, there'll be other times where, you know, we're going to have him in the room. So 6-1 Mariners in the top of the 4th. Runners on the corners on 1st and 3rd. Let's go, baby. Big dumper. I got you. 0-1 pitch. That one chopped foul by Mitch Garver. Should have been Voss, but again, it is what it is. Voss is a much better hitter than Mitch Garver. He had a 3-for-3 day a couple days ago, but Jason Vossler's got a hit in every game that he's played since he's been called up from AAA Tacoma Rainiers. He led the league in the PCL in RBIs, not just the team, the league. So why are we not having him as our everyday DH? I know this is like the rubber match, and we already kind of had a feeling we were going to win this game, but you know, there's no question Voss is a better hitter than Garv. What part of Alaska, brother? And what part of Hawaii a couple weeks ago? That's a real big difference from like the really, really cold to the really, really hot. I bet you loved it. Next up, Dylan Moore. Now, I haven't got a chance to travel too much. I mean, I grind, you know, on this dream like pretty much every day. But, you know, I've lived on the West Coast here in Oregon my whole life. But, you know, Oregon, Washington, California for Disneyland when I was a kid. Demo crushes that one foul. So Oregon, Washington, California, Japan when I was really, really young, when I was a kid, like twice. And then I've been to Illinois. I've been to Chicago for business. And when I was in a phone sales job a few years ago, and that's pretty much it. I haven't been anywhere else. Oh, nice. Yeah, Matt lives in Maui, I believe. If you had a choice between living in Alaska or living in Hawaii and money wasn't a factor, where would you live? I know your family and everything is there in Alaska, though. Throw to first. Got him. I've always on Discovery Channel and History Channel, when they have shows like Life Below Zero, and they have a lot of those programs that show people in like the wilderness on the outskirts in the small towns in Alaska, and they're self-sufficient, where they got a trap and get their own firewood, and they have to be able to survive on their own. I really respect those fucking people. Like, I would love to be able to visit somewhere like that, like Canada and Alaska, where it's just very remote. And I don't know if I would be able to survive by myself. Obviously, I would need someone to help me and kind of teach me the ways. But I've always kind of admired that kind of cabin life out there, and being self-sufficient and being able to be out there in nature. They got the little sled dogs. You're out there in the mountains. You get to fish. You get the beautiful weather. Obviously, when the weather gets cold, you can die. Obviously in the snow, so you have to make sure that you have the appropriate firewood and food. Otherwise, you're done. But I've really respected those type of people that live in Alaska, whether it ends up being remote or a certain part there. And I always usually like watching those type of shows. It gives me good mental health. That's why I watch a lot of Discovery, a lot of History, and a lot of Nat Geo. I like watching other things. Like right now, I'm watching The Boys, on Amazon Prime. And I didn't really know what to think about it compared to like DC or Marvel. I was like, okay, you got these superheroes that are popular, like politicians and like celebrities, but they're not always honest, right? And so like you see them, doing these things where they look like they're, saving the planet and helping people. But in reality, like Homelander and a lot of these guys, they're kind of assholes, and they're not really who they seem like they are in real life, right? And I'm in the first season, halfway through, and I would say it is definitely a must watch. Like I said, the cinematography and the camera angles is really what makes it, as well as the actors and actresses that are in it. And I know they have 4 seasons and they're going to have 1 more. Definitely excited about getting through that after this game is over. And then I did hear that Dexter has got a couple spin-offs. And then we have Robert Downey Jr. going to be Dr. Doom. That was at the Comic-Con last night. So lots of cool stuff that's going to be coming out, obviously, in the Marvel world, as well as many other, things that are going to draw some interest, obviously, in pop culture. Bottom of the 4th, 6-1 Mariners. Let's get a couple photos up here for Jason with the dumper. Appreciate you, my guy. That's our guy. Gavin Sheets lined out to center to Victor Robles, 1 away. We're at 1, 99 to go. Next up for the White Sox, DHing for Chicago, Eloy Jimenez. Now, one of my favorite cards, because I'm a big toy and card collector. I've been collecting since I was 5 years old, and I'm 42. Is I got a lot of Griffey's and Julio autographs and things like that. But one of my favorites is a Cal Raleigh rookie card auto from Topps Archive back in 2022 when he ended up hitting the walk-off home run. I instantly went to eBay and I bought it, but they didn't have any graded versions at that time. I think it's a Topps Heritage auto. But like I said, I always believed in Cal, and it's just nice to be able to see him develop into the player that he is. And pretty soon, he will be an all-star with Adley Rutschman. We just have to wait for Salvador Perez to retire or get a little bit older. So, Hawaii, Alaska has its perks. Yeah. Victor, definitely with the stylish catch. Bottom of the 4th, 6-1 Mariners with 2 outs. Next up, the former Red Sox, Andrew Benintendi. And I know Britt is a big Benintendi guy, and she obviously lives out there in the Northeast towards like Connecticut, and is a big Boston Red Sox fan. She'll be in the streams, obviously, in the next few days, and hopefully we can match up to Boston the way that I think we will. Popped up. There we go. Victor Robles again. End of the 4th inning, 6-1 Mariners. See if I can find a couple more big dumpers for you. But I had a feeling that the dumper was going to go for a homer today. That's why I put him on the thumb, and he did. So I'm not going to be able to predict everything. We'll have a few ESP moments here and there, where we can predict what's going to happen. But it's just nice to be able to see things are going the right way for the Seattle Mariners and the fan base. Appreciate you, my guy. Next up for the Mariners in the top of the fifth, 0 for 1 with a base on ball, right fielder Mitch Haniger. Let's go, Mitch. Next up, first baseman 0 for 2 with a K, went 0 for 4 yesterday. Come on, Tyler, get it together. Tyler Locklear. And batting third, a guy that never plays, but hell, it's the rubber match. So Scott Service said, fuck it. Shortstop, Leo Rivas. Let's go, Mariners. I think everything started to kind of come into play. Like, yeah, you know, I think Victor used to be a guy that was good years ago. No one had any expectations, and he's been kind of the unsung hero for us. You know, JP and Julio got hurt, and we ended up getting, you know, Randy Arozarena and, you know, and Jimmy Garcia. Like, sometimes you got to take one step backwards, and everyone starts freaking out to be able to go 10 steps forward. And again, it's not just JP, Julio, and Cal. You know, you're going to have to get production from other guys. And I really like Victor. And again, it's all about consistency, swagger, aura, vibe, you know, and being a good teammate. And I really like the way the outfield is shaping up with Randy in left field, Julio in center, and probably Victor in right field. Victor is too good not to be playing every day. He's the only hitter that's batting over 300 for us. So, I mean, we got to make sure that he's playing every day. No excuses, right? And I think that he can play right field. I don't think it's going to be that much of a transition, even though some baseball players do like a certain side or like playing in center. But Arozarena, Julio Rodriguez, Victor Robles, I mean, you could argue we're going to have one of the best no-fly zones in all of baseball, you know, especially since Robles has been, you know, doing as well as he has and been kind of that hidden gem and X factor for us. That would have been a player that normally we would have to trade for, but we got him for like a bag of Doritos, and he's been playing great. He's definitely become a fan favorite, and I love it, man. Two-two pitch. Pitch is outside. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Let's go, Hanny. Little chopper. Off himself. Count remains 3-2. Cool. The Haniger tried to jam him with no avail. Count remains 3-2. Oh, absolutely. He's worth the extension. You know, I mean, again, we have 0 300 hitters. The only guy that hit 300 for us was Josh Rojas at the beginning of the year when he was batting 300 to 350 in the 9-hole. So we haven't had another 300 hitter since that. So it feels good, you know, to be able to have a guy that's actually batting over 300 and it's carrying over to the other guys. Next up, first baseman, Tyler Locklear. Come on, Tyler. You're 0 for 6 in the last 2 games, 0 for 4 yesterday, 0 for 2 with a K today. If Vossler was playing today, I guarantee that he wouldn't be striking out like this. Come on, baby. Captain Oreo says 1-0 Dodgers over the Stros. Fucking, they blew it yesterday. Fucking Bregman with that homer all the way to the moon. Anybody see that Shohei Ohtani homer? Golly. I mean, Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani are the 2 best players on planet Earth. You got one guy from the left, one guy from the right. But can you imagine, you know, when Shohei is able to pitch next year? It's going to be crazy. As long as he doesn't have to have Tommy John on that arm at some point. But magnificent athletes, you know, with Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge. Must-see TV, man. Regardless if you're a Yankee or a Dodger fan or not. Good for baseball. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. 3 balls and 1 strike. Take a walk, Locklear. Anything is positive. Just don't fucking strike out. Come on, my guy. Take the walk. Something positive. There we go. That's for the confidence. Hit by a pitch or a walk, it's not ideal. You know, you want to get a hit or a home run yourself, but sometimes when you're struggling, you know, you want to get back on track. And I'm not saying he's struggling long term. He's only 0 for 6 within the last 2 games. And prior to that, he was getting about a hit a game. And again, if we're going to drop Ty France, we want to make sure that Locklear is putting up something. Next up, shortstop, Leo Rivas. And I think this would be a good time for a bunt. I don't know if Rivas is going to do it, but again, I want us to be bunting 2 to 4 times a game. And we've already been doing it a few times, but this would be an ideal guy to bunt. But again, sometimes you'll get bunts out of Robles and Randy Arozarena, and I don't think people are anticipating that. And that's kind of the element of surprise. Rivas pops up. Routine play to right field, 2 away. Next up, our savior, center fielder, Victor Robles. And it's nice that Victor has stepped up because that's one less guy that we have to worry about in the trade deadline. You know, because imagine if we didn't have Victor Robles, or if Victor Robles sucked, you know, and he was batting like 150, and he would just be like every other guy, you know, that is fucking struggling. So Robles right up the middle, force out at second, got him. Nice play by Nicky Lopez. Go to the bottom of the 5th, 6-1 Mariners. So I got my Cal Auto rookie card here on the table over to the right, but I'm just going to show you what it looks like here just on a photo. This isn't the card that I'm showing you is not my physical card. I got a better autograph on my card than this one, but I like these old school vintage looks on the cards where you got the rookie card, you got the auto on card, and then you got the pink Cal Raleigh, the green Seattle Mariners, you got the little catcher with orange in the corner, and then Cal's got a sweet autograph. You know, a lot of the Mariners, you know, obviously a lot of people would want Julio's autograph to be a little bit better instead of kind of like a JR. But as soon as Cal ended up hitting that blast, right, and we ended up going to the playoffs, I wanted to find a card that's kind of suited his personality and mine. And there was a lot of graded rookie cards, PSA and BGS, but not of this card. And this is one that I ended up buying raw. And I normally don't buy cards that aren't graded, but when they look like that, it was definitely worth the purchase. And I think I only paid like $70 for it, and it's got potential to go over 100 as the years go on. And Cal's the big dumper, man. You know, we got to make sure that Cal is a Mariner for life. Big facts. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. We're at $1.99 to go. Let's see if we can get to maybe at least half of the goal before the stream ends if we're lucky. Let's see who's up next for the White Sox. Third baseman, Paul DeYoung, 6-1 Mariners. Little dribbler towards third base. Throw to first. 1 away. Check, see if they have anything here on the Venmo or the Cash App. Every once in a while we'll get stuff that's just in there. But I don't think we have anything in there at the moment. Next up for the White Sox, Brooks Baldwin. Pitch right down the middle for a strike for Bryce Miller. Bryce having a good outing here. Bryce Miller, 4.1 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run. He's only got 2 Ks, but again, a 6-1 lead will take that. Baldwin, going over Robles' head, and that is a ground rule double. Brooks Baldwin's been playing well in the last 2 games. Next up, catcher Corey Lee. Robles didn't really put himself in the position there to get that ball. Was probably creeping a little bit too close there in center field, but that's all right. Pitch is high, 1-0 count. All right, we need 5 more likes to hit 30. 4 more likes to hit 30. We're at 26. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. 4 more to hit the goal. Bottom of the 5th, 6-1 Mariners, baby. Everyone's like, man, I wish we played the White Sox every day. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss for Corey Lee. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Let's go, Mariners. Finish strong, Bryce. One-two pitch. Pitch is high and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Bryce Miller to Corey Lee. Go, Bryce. Finish strong, my guy. Two-two pitch to Lee. Got him. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Another punch out for Bryce Miller. And of course, we want 8, 9, 10 Ks, but it just feels like with a lot of the Mariner pitchers, it's usually somewhere between 4 and 7 strikeouts instead of 8 to 10. But at the end of the day, if we're getting wins, that's all that matters. Nice job, Bryce. Next up for the White Sox, Nicky Lopez. 1 for 2, the shortstop for Chicago. Pitches inside, 1-0 count. Let's go, Bryce. 1-0 pitch. Chop towards third base, foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Runner at second with 2 outs. 6-1 Mariners in the bottom of the 5th. Let's fucking go. One pitch from Miller to Lopez. That one is a splitter, 83 above the zone, but called strike. Nicky Lopez looks back at the ump and says, really? Hey, that was definitely out of the zone, but it is what it is. We'll take it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. All right, Bryce, smoke them. Popped up. Should be a routine play here for the Mariners. Randy Arozarena running in to get that catch. Nice. Let's go, Randy. Fucking A. Great athleticism, man. Fuck. That's my guy. Swag. Great defense by Randy Arozarena. Swag. End of the 5th. Let's go to the top of the 6th. 6-1 Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, lo and behold, the person that ended up making that great defensive play, left fielder, 2 for 2 with a run and base on ball, Randy Arozarena. Batting second, 2 for 3 with a run, 3 RBIs, and a 2-run blast, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Big Dumper. And batting third, 1 for 3 with a run, second baseman, Jorge Polanco. Let's go, Polo. Is it time for a trident up? Let's go. And like I mentioned multiple times on the stream, make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. You know, it's the most important thing every single day. You know, if you feel like you're slipping into the darkness, make some minor adjustments to your daily routine, exercise, eat a little bit better, listen to music, spend time with friends, pets, and family. And if you do those things and make a little bit of an effort, you'll be able to come out on the other side a little bit faster and win the day. Let's go, Mariners. Let's get it. there's any new photos that have posted yet of Randy. Randy. Can we get some Mariner photos of Randy? Boom. We're still waiting on some more official ones from the gameplay, though. Randy, line drive to center field. Nice catch by Luis Robert Jr. One away. It's okay, Randy. You the man. Next up, big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. Been electric so far with a 2-run blast. And see what else that big dumper can do here. Top of the 6-1 Seattle. Pitch in the zone with a changeup in the zone for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to big dumper Cal Raleigh. Let's go, baby. Ooh, the Cubs did. There was a lot of individuals that were looking at Isaac. I think anybody that gets a player like that would definitely be excited to have him. Lots of potential there. What did they have to give up to get him? Did they have to give up quite a bit? Two-two pitch from Cool to big dumper. Pops up. Should be a routine play here in left field. 2 away. But I guess nothing is routine in Chicago. They already have a couple errors. Next up, second baseman Jorge Polanco. Trident's up. You can't defend, but you can sure hit now. Let's go, Jorge. One pitch to Polo. Pitches outside. 2 balls and 1 strike with that changeup. Cool is not necessarily losing his cool. Could have been much better than what we ought to saw out of Garrett Crochet, but we're still raking. 6-1 Seattle. 80-mile-an-hour sweeper. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jorge Polanco. Two pitch from Cool to Polo. Polo chops that one foul. Count remains 2-2. Shout out to DX for the like on the Instagram account. Appreciate you. With my boy Vu. My boy Vu is always supporting. Not a big sports fan, but just cool to be able to have friends that actually support your dreams, even if you haven't seen them in a long time. That one chop foul. And shout out to Odin, Matt, Lauren, and Sarah for the like and share on the Twitter/X. Three-two pitch. Polo working the count. Count remains 3-2. Go Polo. 3-2 pitch from Cool to Polanco. Baited him inside with that changeup. Got him. 6-1 Mariners. Go to the bottom of the sixth. Let's see who's up next here for the White Sox. Next up for the White Sox, 1 for 2 with an RBI and a run, Tommy Pham. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a K, center fielder Luis Robert Jr. Really not helping his trade status with him not playing well in the last month. But we'll see if he ends up getting moved or not. I think his trade value has gone down considerably. And batting third, first baseman 0 for 2, Gavin Sheets. I mean, especially if you're going to be trading for a guy, you don't want to be trading for a guy that's been really in a slump as of late. You want to trade for a guy that's been hot, that's maybe been on a bad team. So I don't know how many teams are going to want to give up everything for a guy like Luis Robert Jr., but I say pass. Titus in the building. What's good? Really? That's interesting. You know, usually you can see Bell as like a DH, maybe not necessarily an everyday player at a position, but definitely could help a team. I got to check on my pup here real quick. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. Bottom of the sixth, 6-1 Seattle. Next up for the White Sox, Tommy Pham. Let me check up on my pup here real quick. She's sleeping on the couch. All right, so got Bryce Miller here on the mound, wheeling and dealing. Yeah. I mean, there was all kinds of rumors, you know, Cody Bellinger before he got hurt, you know, Pete Alonso kind of feels like he's over the hill and whatnot. So I don't know. I mean, Brent Rooker, I'm not sure if the A's are going to part with him, but you're going to have to give up an arm and a leg for a Brent Rooker, almost the same kind of value as a Vladdy, Guerrero Jr. So hopefully we can find another bullpen guy or two and then another bat, preferably a first baseman that might be available on the market. But we got Tyler Locklear, but it would be nice to have someone, you know, compete with him for that spot. In there for a strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tommy Pham. Let's go, Bryce. And sometimes it's about team fit. Like, you know, when all the rumors about Jazz Chisholm, I was like, no. You know, the guy is a selfish player. He might be the most selfish player in baseball. And it's undeniable he's got skills. He can play infield or outfield. And, you know, I wish him the best of luck on the Yankees coming from the Marlins. But, you know, sometimes when you get guys that are me guys and not team guys, you can be a cancer to the dugout. And I don't want that for Seattle. So I'm really happy that we didn't get Jazz, even though I know a lot of Mariner fans were, you know, contemplating that could be a good move. But it's more than just about the player, you know, being a good player offensively and defensively. It's about who he is as a man, you know, and he just seems really immature and real selfish. So I don't want a guy like that on the Mariners. But if the New York Yankees think that he'll fall in line with Judge and Soto and Giancarlo Stanton, then so be it. But I don't think that like puts them over the top. Like, ooh, they got Jazz. They're going to win the World Series. Hell, the Yankees might not even make it. You know, we'll see how far they'll go. I mean, they're going to be a good team, but you know, it's anybody's game, you know, between the Yankees, Orioles, Guardians, Twins, Royals, and Mariners, as well as the Astros. One of those teams is going to make it. Pitches outside, 1 ball and 1 strike to Luis Robert Jr. Brent Rooker and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. would be kind of nice. I just don't want to give up the whole farm system. 1-1 pitch. And remember, if we don't get Vlad, or if we don't get another bat, or if we get like a lower name guy, we can always promote some of the guys that we have in single A, high A, double A, and triple A, like we did with Locklear Bliss and Jason Vossler, and then we might be able to get some good production out of that guy as well. So, like, it's not, the world is not going to end if we don't get a big name like Vlad. I mean, the vibes are already good in Seattle now. There we go. Nice out there by Bryce Miller. Nice job, Bryce. 2 away. Next up for the White Sox, 0 for 2, Gavin Sheets. But we'll see how we match up against the Red Sox and the Phillies. You know, it's either going to be really good, really bad, or hopefully that we can compete. And I'm hoping that we can go 2 for 3. You know, and we don't want to get swept, but I'm hoping that we can end up winning 2 out of 3 against Boston on the road. Much easier to do at home, but we'll see what we can do at Fenway. And then the Phillies is even going to be harder. With like, you know, Bryce Harper and Schwarb and, you know, all those guys that they got on that roster. They're stacked. Yeah. And it's Judge's team, you know. Check swing, got him. I think really the big turnoff for me when I saw Jazz, you know, there was another player on the Marlins that ended up winning the game for them, like Brian De La Cruz or something, right? And there was a female reporter, and then Jazz dumped the Gatorade on the female reporter, you know, instead of really dumping it on the player. Like, you know, it was like kind of laughing about it. That type of immaturity, you know, and again, if it was an accident, it was an accident. But when you're doing it on purpose, you know, like those little things that you notice about a player and them being young and immature, that's the type of shit that I don't want, you know. It's like you're already a selfish player. You got talent, but it's like, you know, you can definitely tell the guys that are mature and that actually care about winning, or if they only care about themselves. So glad that we didn't get Jazz. All right, end of the 6th inning, 6-1 Mariners. Let's see what we got up next here for Seattle. And obviously we're kind of going through the motions now, you know, with this nice 6-1 lead. Next up for Seattle, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. DHing for the Mariners, Mitch Garver, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. And I guarantee if we would have had Jason Vossler DHing, and he should be our everyday DH moving forward, you probably have 1 or 2 hits right now. He's gotten a hit in every game that he's played. Garver is just not a good enough hitter to be playing, period. Batting second, 1 for 3 with 2 runs. Third baseman today over Hollywood Josh Rojas, Dylan Moore. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a base on ball and a K, right fielder Mitch Haniger. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. Let's go, baby. All right, Garv. You know, this might be one of those days where if you can't get a hit, you know, they should just make Vossler the everyday DH player. I've seen enough out of him. It's like, I don't know what the Mariners are doing sometimes with Scott Service. And I get it. You're going to try to want to, you know, you're paying these guys 10, 11 million a year like Garv and Polo. And Polo has started to turn it around, but he kind of sucks at defense. But with Garv, you know, every once in a while, he'll have like a 3 for 3, 3 for 4 day or 2 for 4 day. But most of the time, it's like 0 for 4. And then sometimes 1 for 4. I don't know. I just think that Voss has got the swag and the aura and the vibe. He's a better player. You want to have Garver be the backup catcher, that's fine. But again, sometimes you have to understand who the best players are on your team. And by playing a Mitch Garver, you're not doing yourself any benefit. Especially when you got a guy that's, getting a hit every single game that he's played so far. Voss is the man. He's even better than Locklear, better than Bliss. Garver all the way to the wall and caught. Good catch there by Tommy Pham. One away. Another 0 for 4 day for Mitch Garver. Sent his ass to the bench. Next up, third baseman Dylan Moore. Now we got a 5-run lead. Brooms are out. But again, when you're playing a team that's 27-80, 17-36 at home, fuck, you should sweep them. Like the fans aren't really that engaged. The players are not very good. They're not motivated. They know they're one of the worst teams in baseball. They won 3 out of 4. In Seattle, we should have won 4 out of 4, but they got the last game on us, I think in extras. But we've scored, 22 runs in 3 games? That's how it's supposed to be against a team like this. And they've only scored 4. So we have a 22-4 advantage in these 3 games so far. But I would like to see if we can put up another 1 or 2 more runs just to give us that momentum and that Uncle Mo as we go to Fenway tomorrow. And we play the Red Sox for a 3-game stretch, have a day off on Thursday. I'll do the Hall of Fame game, Texans and Bears. And then we're going to go into a 3 or 4 game set against Philly in Philadelphia against one of the powerhouses. So we'll see where that goes. Pitch in the middle for a slider for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. No, we're not going to waive Garv because we need a backup catcher. And even though Garv sucks at hitting, he's a good backup catcher behind Cal Raleigh, and he's better than Sebi Zavala. So there's no way that we're going to get rid of Garv. He'll just be a guy that hopefully just sits on his, the bench. And then every once in a while, if they want, Cal the DH or someone else like Voss and have Cal with the day off, then you can put Garv in, as a backup catcher. But I've seen enough out of Garv this year that he shouldn't be DHing the rest of the year, especially when you got a guy like Jason Vossler. And regardless if it's a left-handed pitcher and he's a left-handed hitter, Voss is more reliable even in that situation than a right-handed hitter like Garv. That's what, managers need to start recognizing. It doesn't matter if it's a left-handed pitcher and they think that a right-handed hitter has a better chance. Not if the right-handed hitter sucks. You got to be able to put in your best guys. So we'll see where it goes. But 2 for 3 against Fenway would be fire. That's what I'm hoping for. And then same thing with the Phillies. I'm hoping that we can get, even 2 out of 4. I got to take a look to see the schedule on how many games we play in Philadelphia, 3 or 4. I'm going to look that up right now. I was going to peek ahead. Let's look. All right, so we play on Friday at 6:30, 6:40. Saturday, same thing. Sunday at 1. I think it's a 3-game set. Yeah, it's a 3-game set. And then Monday, the following Monday, we have off. And then the Phillies play the Dodgers. Wow. That could be NLCS preview. So hopefully 2 out of 3 against Boston and 2 out of 3 against Philly. But that's kind of saying a lot, It could end up being 2 out of 3 against Boston, 1 out of 3 against Philadelphia. That's probably a little bit more realistic, unless the pitching is fire and Robles and Arozarena and everyone is on their game. Also, it would help if we had JP and Julio right now too, but it is what it is. Hopefully, Julio will be back here shortly. And obviously, JP's out 4 to 6 weeks, so we're gonna have to wait a little bit for him. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Let's see who's up for Chicago. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. 30 to 50 likes is what we want to shoot for. We need 99 more to hit the goal on the donos. Next up for the White Sox, 1 for 2, DHing for Chicago, Eloy Jimenez. Batting second, the former Red Sox, left fielder Andrew Benintendi. And batting third, 0 for 2, third baseman Paul DeYoung. Plus, we already owe Garv like 10, 11 million. That's what we gave for Polo and Garv. And that obviously was a mistake, but sometimes you don't know what you're going to get out of a player until you get through the full season. Most players struggle in April and May, and then they get better in June, July, and August. But sometimes you start off hot in April and May, and then you fade, kind of like Luke Raley and Josh Rojas. They were really good early, but they've been struggling as of late. And as I speak of Hollywood Josh Rojas, there he is, getting a chance to get into the game at third base. Good. Really, the one that's getting the short end of the stick right now is Luke Raley. But, once he starts hitting again, he'll get implemented more in the lineup. Polo's out. Demo moves to second. Rojas to third. It's bad for the White Sox when they're showing people eating milkshakes in the crowd. That's how it's going. That's the only good thing that's going on in Chicago is their milkshakes. It's kind of funny that they showed that too, because that's what they were saying in the pregame and yesterday, that their milkshakes are one of the best in MLB. It actually looked pretty good. But that's what happens when you're 27 and 80. You got nothing to look forward to besides the milkshakes, I guess. Bottom of the seventh, 6-1 Mariners. Next up is Eloy Jimenez. Jimenez. Back. Robles is there. Nice catch. Good athleticism by Victor Robles. Love it, baby. Good contact by Eloy, but it just wasn't enough. Next up, the former Boston Red Sox. I imagine Boston wishes he had this individual there playing. I imagine the fans still wish that he was there. Left fielder Andrew Benintendi. Like, how do you let Mookie Betts and Benintendi go? But still, Boston has got some quality players. I'm excited for the series. Stanek allowed 3 runs, 2 home runs. Benintendi on the top of the wall, almost a home run. Yeah, and it's crazy because Stanek was decent for us early in the year, but in his last 3 or 4 starts for us, he was terrible. Over the glove of Haniger, and it hit the yellow padding. Are they going to give him a home run or not? And then it bounces backwards into the field. It's a double. We got lucky there. And I'm glad we got rid of Stanek. It's like, even Santos is he's injury prone, and I don't really know if I like him. It's like he's kind of shaky out there. Really, the only guy I like is Andres Munoz. I like Brash, but he's injured, And then, you got Taylor Saucedo and all these other guys that are unreliable. So hopefully we can end up getting another. But at least we ended up making the right move after we got rid of Stanek, which was the right move, and we picked up Jimmy Garcia. Jimmy was awesome. 3-0 record, 2.70 ERA out of the bullpen. So I like him. He seems like he's got the swag and the aura and a good pitch selection to, be that guy. So we got him, Jimmy Garcia, Santos, Andres Munoz, but we need another guy to replace Santos if he starts struggling. And hopefully we get that guy today, tomorrow, or Tuesday. It actually might be more important to get another bullpen guy to get instead of getting another right fielder or first baseman. Yeah, I know we need another guy, in the order, but based on Robles playing well, Rosarina playing well, Julio will be back soon. JP will be back in about a month and a half. I'm not really sure if we need any really more hitters. It's like we need to focus on the bullpen because that's probably the weakest part of our team right now. I mean, getting a guy for the 6th, a guy for the 7th, a guy for the 8th, and then Munoz is in there for the 9th. You never can have enough good quality bullpen guys. Yeah, I'm glad we got rid of Stanek. The only good thing about him was his mullet. Bottom of the 7th, runner at second. with 1 out, 2-2 pitch into the dirt. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Paul DeYoung. DeYoung crushes that one foul. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. We need 3 more likes to get to 30. 2 more likes to get to 30. We can definitely hit that before the game is over. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Only 2 more to go. That one chop foul. And obviously, keeping Bryce in as long as possible is ideal. We want to make sure that our guys are going to be rested up against the Red Sox and the Phillies. And hopefully we don't get swept by the Red Sox and the Phillies. That would definitely be a big gut punch, after all these additions that we've acquired, and obviously the good play out of Robles lately. 3-2 pitch. Miller to DeYoung. Popped up. Back. Gone! Paul DeYoung makes it a game. Now 6-3. Fireworks in the south side. Paul DeYoung and Benintendi score. Now it's 6-3. Next up, one of their up-and-coming prospects, second baseman Brooks Baldwin. Britt in the building. How are you? How are you doing today? Did you get some sleep? I messaged you. How is your dog? Is your dog doing okay? How are you doing? Well, it's time to take Bryce out. I mean, obviously, you were kind of, taking a risk by having Bryce Miller, our 5th best pitcher in the game, in the 7th inning. We should have just put him in the 6th. But it shows you, since our bullpen sucks, right, then we're stretching our guys out. And sometimes when you stretch a guy out too far, right, then something bad happens like that. So, but at least we still have a 3-run lead. Imagine if we were tied, or if we had a 3-1 lead and then they just tied it up, then we would probably lose today. So thank God we got off to a hot start early on, and we still have a 3-run lead. Yeah. Getting into that cat food, huh? Not good for the stomach. Obviously it could come out, obviously throwing up and, having some problems on that other end as well. So do you feel a little bit lost, Britt, with no NASCAR for 2 weeks? I was thinking about you this morning. I was thinking, man, I was like, usually I get so excited, I'll end up, looking at, the starting, grid, and the storylines and the positioning for the playoffs. And I don't like having like a week off or 2 weeks off. It's like, I want to make sure that if it's not football, right, with the NFL, give me NASCAR. And when I don't have NASCAR on a Sunday, I feel like my weekend is incomplete. It's cool that the Mariners are playing, thank God, but it's like, we got the Red Sox starting tomorrow, 3-game set. So you can talk your talk and I'll walk my walk. And it's just a little weird though. I can't wait for NASCAR to come back. And that's why I think you and me vibe so much, because, regardless if it's, the guys that like NASCAR, and there's not as many females that are on the NASCAR, at least, they're out there. But I think that NASCAR in general, it kind of takes a special breed of a person, to be able to appreciate what we have. And we both love Chase, and that's what brings us together. So walk your walk to a loss. You wish. You wish, Britt. You wish. I'm hoping we go 2 out of 3 against you, but we will see. Yeah, practice, qualifying, trucks, Xfinity. I try to watch as much as I can too. It's like I'll do the Mariners and I'll watch that, but I'm usually not watching a whole lot of full games when I know that is on. It's a big part of who I am. And it's like I have that same kind of love, for football and baseball and wrestling as I do with NASCAR too. So, I mean, really the only thing that's taking a big step back is basketball. I think like college hoops and NBA is not good anymore. It used to be, but not anymore. And then I would probably put NHL over NBA, and obviously the college hoops. But I like NASCAR more than hockey. You know, NASCAR is right up there at the top for me. So, Texas race. Bottom of the 7th, 1-2 pitch. Baldwin into the dirt, throw to first. Got him. 2 away. Next up for the White Sox, catcher Corey Lee. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. We need one more like to get to 30. You want to help us out with that, Brett? Unless you smashed the like button already. We got Austin both in the game. Yeah. I saw a photo that I was going to share with you last night where it had Chase and his mom, and it was like, you know, the day that Bill ended up winning a race, obviously years ago. All the fans are leaving in Chicago. Wow, it's the bottom of the 7th and everyone's, oh, okay, it's starting to rain. I was like, wow, everyone's dipping? It's 6-3 now. But a lot of the people in the crowd are moving to an undercovered area. I was like, they just got a home run to get it close, but it looks like the rain is starting to come down. They got a storm coming in. See if they can end up completing this game before everyone gets soaked. A couple smart White Sox fans have ponchos and umbrellas there, as they show a couple White Sox fans with the poncho on backwards. Go figure. 1-2 pitch from Austin Voth to Corey Lee. Pitch is outside, 2-2 count. All right, we're at 31. Thanks, Brett. And that other individual that smashed the like button. We need 4 more, 3 more to get to 35, 8 more to get to 40. Randy Arozarena is right there. And that is the end of the 7th inning as the rain comes down, but the damage is done by Paul DeYoung, getting a 2-run blast with Benintendi on board. 6-3 Mariners from the top of the 8th. You wear your poncho backwards? Why do you got to live so far away from me, Britt? All the way on the other side of the country. I wish you lived closer. Big facts. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Seattle Mariners here in the top of the 8th. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with a base on ball and a K. First baseman, Tyler Locklear. Batting second, 0 for 3 with an RBI and a K, shortstop Leo Rivas. And batting third, the hidden gem for the Mariners, 2 for 4 with a run, center fielder Victor Robles. Definitely bringing that electricity to the lineup. Let's go, Mariners. I'm going to check up on my pup here real quick. Hopefully your pup is doing okay. Let's see how Paisley is doing. Last time I checked, she was stretched out on the couch trying to take a little nappy nap. See how she's doing. It's almost time for her lunch. All right, I'm back. Plenty of kisses for my pup. Top of the 8th with 1 out. 6-3 Mariners. Next up, Leo Rivas. All the kisses for my pup. Pitch is high. 1 ball and 1 strike as the rain comes down in Chicago. Uh-oh, shit on the carpet. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you're doing, big things with Colton. You know, it's kind of ironic that my dad lives there. We have a town here. It's kind of like, kind of like off the beaten path, kind of like, some people live downtown, some people live in the burbs, and some people kind of live out in the country. And that's like where my dad lives and whatnot. And you're doing a good job, obviously handling that situation. But you're right. Sometimes, when you have a cat or a dog or a kitten or a pup, people think it's easy, but it kind of depends on how much you love and energy that you put in, to that type of relationship as well. Again, anybody can be lazy and not put in a full effort, but I don't have any kids of my own, so Paisley's my daughter, and I really go the extra mile, for her, making sure that we're getting, outside for an hour and a half to 2 hours a day, making sure she gets all the love and attention. And, it's probably been the most fulfilling thing that has happened in my life ever. I really appreciate, all of the people that have supported me on this channel, but being able to, get love and give love and unconditionally, it's the greatest thing ever. Top of the 8th, 6-3 Mariners with 2 outs. Cool still on the mound. Victor Robles on the box. Good luck with your carpet. That sounds tough. But hopefully, getting all the cat food out, and hopefully things will be better stomach-wise for your dog. That and a name change. Top of the 8th, 2-2 count with 2 outs, 6-3 Seattle. 2-2 pitch, cool to Robles. Robles pops it up, screams in disgust. Benintendi is there, and that is the end of the top of the 8th inning. Let's go to the bottom of the 8th and see who's up next for Chicago. Back at the top of the order for the White Sox, 1 for 3, shortstop Nicky Lopez. Batting second, right fielder, 1 for 3 with an RBI and 2 Ks, Tommy Pham. And batting third, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks, center fielder Luis Robert Jr. Not really helping himself out with his stock, with a lot of teams looking at him as maybe a trade candidate. But I would say maybe a couple months ago, that would be an intriguing player to bring in, but I say no to Luis Robert Jr., no to Pete Alonso, no to Cody Bellinger. Obviously Brent Rooker is a yes from the A's. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. would be a yes from the Blue Jays, but Bo Bichette would be a no for me. But again, I don't want to have to give up the whole farm system to get one of those guys, but we'll see what happens. But we definitely need a couple more bullpen guys for my level of comfort to get a little bit better. .30-minute walk. Oh, that's tough. And you actually went out there to try to, go outside, get the fresh air, handle the business, and obviously it's always tough, if you have a cat or a dog that normally doesn't pee or take a big old dump in the house, it's like they're trained to do it outside, and obviously a little bit sick and whatnot. So husky, no training. Oh, that's gonna be. I had a purebred Samoyed, kind of like a husky. Growing up when I was a kid, that was the only dog that I ever had, and ended up living a pretty long life. Pulled me in a sled when I was a little kid, and whatnot. But yeah, with like those type of dogs, like Huskies and Samoyeds and whatnot, you're going to have your hands full, that's for sure. Paisley is about to turn 3 herself, too. No, her birthday is in just a couple weeks away, so I'm just trying to make sure I savor every single minute that I have with her. Nikki Lopez, line drive to Demo, on away. 4-2 Dodgers. There we go. They should have won yesterday, Captain Oreo. Got to have the Astros lose as much as possible, right? Next up, right fielder, Tommy Pham. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. Let's see if we can get to 40 likes before the game ends. And any kind of donos that we get would be greatly appreciated, as well as like, subs, and shares. Popped up, 2 away. Where are we at? We're at 33. 7 more likes to hit the goal to get to 40. Next up, Luis Robert Jr. I don't think I've seen a player's value drop off as much as his. 211 batting average, 12 homers, and 24 ribbies. So he could still be a help to some team, but you're not going to want to give up a bunch for him. And if he ends up leaving, the White Sox fans will be definitely sad, even though his numbers aren't the greatest. He's arguably the best player on the team besides Fetty, the pitcher. Pitch in there for a strike as the rain comes down. 6-3 Seattle. Bottom of the 8th at 2 outs. 1-1 count to Luis Robert Jr. Garcia on the mound. We get another opportunity to see Jimmy Garcia. Let's go, Jimmy. Jimmy spelled with a Y, like Yimmy. And that rain is coming down. Big raindrops. Hopefully they don't cancel the game. I mean, we're getting close here. I imagine the umps are looking at the calls like, okay, let's get the fuck out of here. Popped up. And another 0 for 4 day for Luis Robert Jr. Not good for his trade stock. All right, let's go to the 9th inning here. 6-3 Seattle. Next up for the Mariners, 2 for 3 with a run and a base on ball. Left fielder, Randy Rosarina. Batting second, 2 for 4 with a run, 3 RBIs. Catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And filling in for Jorge Polanco is Hollywood Josh Rojas. Let's go, baby. I mean, it would be nice to get another run for insurance, but it feels like we should be able to get this done. DX with a 5er. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. We're in firm control. Again, we just to give a quick recap of the game. Okay. Top of the first, Cal Raleigh homered to left center with Randy Arozarena on board, 2-0 Mariners. Then in the top of the second, Rivas grounded to a fielder's choice to the shortstop. Moore scored, Haniger out at second, 3-0 Mariners. Then also in the top of the third, Polanco scored, Moore scored, Haniger safe at first on a fielding error, 5-0 Mariners. Tommy Pham singled to right, Lee scored, 5-1 Seattle. And then Cal Raleigh singled to left, Robles scored, Arozarena to second, 6-1 Mariners. And then finally, Paul DeYoung homered to center with Benintendi on board, 6-3 Seattle. So it's been pretty much all Seattle. We've scored 22 runs in 3 games. So it's been definitely utter domination for the Seattle fans and the players. Let me know what you want to do for photos if you want some F1. But thank you so much for coming through. I know you're working today. And thank you for your support. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. A little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. $5 holla from our boy DX. Appreciate you. Hi, Paisley. Paisley's in here. Nothing is more fulfilling than snugging with your dog and hearing their heartbeat, and just being able to spend time, quality time. Changes you, man, as a person. All right, I got you, bro. Your file has gotten pretty big, brother, which is good. Because, when I know people are going to be in the building helping out, I can go through, and it's better for me to be able to, just have it in a file instead of trying to search for them on the fly while I'm actually grinding. So appreciate you, my guy. Little Alexander Albon, and I'll switch up and give you a few more. Appreciate you, man. I'll hit you with an Oscar, too. And a Lando. Got to hit you with a Lando. Appreciate you, my guy. Thank you so much for your support. Me and Paisley, say thank you. She's in here looking at me, ready to go for another walk. All right, here we go. Top of the ninth, 6-3 Mariners. A lot of the fans have been moving under the shelter areas. The downpour is continuing there in the Windy City. See if we can end up getting this sweep and get the broom. Next up for the Mariners, Randy Arozarena. Pitching change for the White Sox, which shouldn't be that surprising. They've gone through quite a few. Go Randy, 2 for 3, 2 singles, walk, and a run. And almost all of his hits have been weak infield hits that he's run out with effort to first, but I'll take it. Go. First pitch, fouled back. Randy almost falls down behind in the count 0-1. Yeah, unfortunate that F1 is off like NASCAR. Since NASCAR is off for 2 weeks, this would be a great opportunity after this game was over. If there was an F1 race, I would actually watch it. I'm like itching for some kind of racing to watch, but sounds like F1 and NASCAR are both off on the same 2-week schedule, which kind of sucks. That one, chop foul behind the plate, behind the count 0-2. Come on, Randy. Pitch is high, out of the zone, 1 ball and 2 strikes. We gained a sub. That's good. 48 to go to 20,400. Arozarena pulls that one up. Should be a routine play into left field. 1 away. Yeah, but does anybody really watch the Olympics anymore? I know some people do if they're like bored, but it's not. I feel like 92 Olympics were super exciting. 96 in Atlanta was pretty exciting. But then once it hit like 2000 and beyond, I feel that like the excitement for, unless you're like brutally hardcore and like you watch it every single, 4-year span. But I feel like my interest definitely started to go away, after it went into the kind of the 2000s, 92 and 96, and then 2000. And then after 2000, it was like, it's not really for me. But I guess it depends on what events that you like. For me, I'd rather, try to catch up on shows on Prime or Netflix and watch the Olympics. But I guess if I get really desperate, I'll watch a little bit of the Olympics. Sometimes I'll watch the Winter Olympics and the Summer Olympics, but I'm not going to watch it for like hours on end. Maybe like an event here or an event there. But Brit's like me. Gymnastics and swimming. Have you watched any of the Olympics yet this year? 0-2 pitch. The big dumper, and that is strike 3, 2 away. It's great, Cal. You're still the man. Hit a home run earlier in the game. You can't expect a guy to hit 2 or 3 home runs in the same game. Polo should be up, but he's obviously taking a rest. And we got Hollywood, Josh Rojas. And we got Andres Munoz warming up, as well as Colin Snyder. So those are your 2 favorite, gymnastics and swimming. And who do you root for in the gymnastics and the swimming? USA, or is there like another country that you root for? Oh, 1 pitch to Rojas into the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jason wants a follow on Instagram. Boom, you get it. I got you. Follow request approved. Dude, USA always. USA. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, sometimes people are mixed race, and sometimes, you'll have, another, piece of your family that might be part of another country. That's why I ask. I mean, we got a lot of multicultural people, a lot of diversity on this channel. Like with me, I'm like European and Asian. So, throw a dartboard at somewhere in Europe and there's a part of Europe, that's part of who I am, as well as part of Asia as well. So, top of the ninth, 6-3 Seattle, 2 outs, 3-2 count for Brebbia to Hollywood Josh Rojas. Rebs has got a nice little beard there. Rojas chops that one foul. Count remains 3-2. He's like, dude, USA, dummy. Well, Paisley left the room, so she went to go watch some gymnastics, I think. She's like, I'm going to go post up on the couch until you're done, Dad. 3-2 pitch. And that's a walk, baby. Hollywood Rojas to first. Next up, DHing for Seattle, Mitch Garver. Go, Mitch. Ooh, 100% French. Oui, oui. Lithuanian. Yeah, my dad's got some Czechoslovakian and lots of other European countries that are in there. Obviously, my mom is Japanese and whatnot, so I got a little bit of diversity. A little bit of Japan and a little bit of Europe mixed in one. Top of the ninth, 6-3 Seattle. Runner at first with Hollywood Rojas with a walk, 2 outs. Mitch Garver's 0 for 4 with 2 Ks. Hopefully he doesn't go 0 for 5. But there is a high probability that it will happen behind in the count now, 0-2. American. It says, I am American. B-R-I-T-T. Brit. American. USA. O2 pitch. Pitch is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mitch Garver. Come on, Mitch. Yeah. For me, I'd rather watch, shows like on Prime or Netflix if I haven't got caught up. Like I watched Cobra Kai from beginning to, up to this point, where we got 5 episodes in November, 5 episodes in 2025, and then that show is over. So I started it from season 1, episode 1. I watched the Disney Plus Star Wars Acolyte, which was not good, but I watched that whole thing. What else was out recently? The Boys, and I just started that yesterday, and that's definitely worth watching. And there it is, another punch out to Mitch Garver, 0 for 5. But I try to get in as many new shows as I can. Oh, and The Bear. And obviously, The Bear was a great show, and I finished that the day that it came out. And so, I'm looking for Umbrella Academy next month. I like to just kind of keep up with everything that's new, before I make an opinion. Like, you can read a bunch of opinions, and people can shit on a show, but until you end up watching it yourself, that's when you can really get a good knock of things and a good feel for things. Yeah, get his ass out of there. Should have been Voss, like we said at the very beginning. So. Really? Interesting. That's very cool. For me, obviously my dad was kind of hippie. My mom is Asian and whatnot, and I could have been Ryan. I could have been Brian, but they decided to go with the constellation with Orion's belt, Orion with the O-R-I-O-N, and I'm really happy that they went that route. To have that original name. The only shitty thing is that when I went to school, they could never say my name correctly, first or last. So they would always brutalize my first name and my last name. And then when I had substitute teacher, it was even worse. But I'm actually happy that I ended up being an Orion rather than, no disrespect to Ryans and Bryans. Those are cool names too. But Orion is definitely a little bit more rare, a rare one. All right, let's see who's up next here for the White Sox. Last ditch opportunity. They need 3 runs to tie, 4 to win. Next up for the White Sox, 0 for 3 with a K, first baseman Gavin Sheets. Batting second, DHing for Chicago, Eloy Jimenez. And batting third, Britt's favorite. She's got a jersey. She'll be rooting him on no matter where he is. Left fielder, Andrew Benintendi. Very ironic that we end up with Benintendi here at the end of the game, but that's how it goes. The sports gods know who's talking to who. And we got Andres Munoz checking in. Might be an easy 1-2-3 inning here, hopefully for us. Right down the middle for a strike. 95-mile-an-hour four-seamer. Sheets says, where the hell did that pitch go? You saw it, baby. Let's go, Andres. Smoke it. Pitch low into the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, it's nice to be able to, it's not the same when it's not on your favorite team, but it's like when you end up having a player that ended up, making memories for you, and I know you've been to games, wearing the jersey, cheering the team on. And it kind of, it's a tough thing when you have a favorite player that ends up going to another team after you bought a jersey, but, it doesn't mean that you can't root for that player even when they go somewhere else. Little dribbler towards first base, 1 away. 2 outs away from a dub here and a sweep. I won't get the broom though, because I think this Boston Red Sox, Philadelphia Phillies 2 series coming up are going to be a tall tale. Hopefully we can go 2 for 3 against your Red Sox, Britt, and we'll probably go 1 for 3 against the Phillies unless we get extremely lucky and go 2 for 3 against both. But hopefully we don't go 1 for 3 in both or 0 for 3 in both. We don't want to get swept by the Red Sox and the Phillies. That would be really bad. But I don't think that'll happen. The vibes are good in Seattle now. So I feel that we can win a minimum of 1 in both series, but we're going to be shooting for 2. Best case scenario 3, but that would be shocking. Because I do think the Red Sox will be a borderline wild card team. I think that you guys are right there. You guys could make it for the wild card. 1-0 pitch. Munoz to Jimenez. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, you let me know, man. You let me know. I'll try to put an effort and watch, a race here or there, if you give me a heads up. You wish we'd get swept. No sweeping happening unless it's me sweeping you off your feet. Facts. Mariners are not going to get swept by the Red Sox. It's possible, but I don't think it's going to happen. Big swing and a miss. 3-2 count. Count is full to Eloy Jimenez. Let's go, PJ. Let's go Mariners, baby. 2 outs away. Three-two pitch. Popped up. Haniger is there. 2 away. 1 out away from a victory, baby, and a sweep. And last but not least, Britt's favorite player, 1 for 3 with a run. Left fielder, the former Boston Red Sox. Jersey is in the closet for Britt. Andrew Benintendi. Now, we are on the road. We're not a very good road team, so we'll see how it goes. We're 24-28 on the road. Now 25-28 if we win this, so not the best team on the road. One 1-0 pitch. Pitch is low into the dirt with that sinker, 96 miles an hour. 2 balls and no strikes. People in the crowd that are still in the game. Let's go, Benny. 2-0 pitch. Pitch is outside for a ball, but called strike. Fans can't believe it. That was definitely a bad call. Should be 3 balls and no strikes to Benintendi. 2-1 pitch. Pitch is outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Should have been a 4-pitch walk to Benintendi, but we'll see if Benny will make Munoz pay here. or if we'll end up getting the brooms out with the sweep. 3-1 pitch from Munoz to Benintendi. Chopper towards first base, foul. Count is full, 3-2 count. There he is. There's that handsome fella. All right, here we go. Bottom of the ninth, 6-3 Mariners, 2 outs. Count is full. Andres Munoz on the mound, Benintendi in the box. Pitches outside, and we walked him. Benny to first. Next up, third baseman Paul DeYoung. And, had a couple errors and a couple plays that were uncharacteristic for Paul early in the game, but he did have a 2-run home run blast just a few innings ago. So we'll see what happens here. We don't want him to homer again, otherwise it'll be 6-5. Now, Stanek is some garbage. If you're a Mets fan, CeeLo, you can keep him for life. We don't want him back. He's garbage. The only thing good about Stanek is his fucking hair. Other than that, that's about it. I'm about to be hopping on this broom like fucking Harry Potter here in a second. Let's go. I mean, he had a couple good games with the Mariners, but the last 3 or 4, he was some shit. He lost a bunch of games for us, and sounds like he ended up blowing the another game for the Mets. So Mets have the highest payroll, and they have a decent record right now, but they're going to choke in the playoffs. It seems like it happens every single year, unfortunately. Hopefully they can end up getting the right, manager and the right players that can come in there to be successful. But it's like they can do good in the regular season, but it just so happens like when they make the postseason, it just, things kind of fall apart, unfortunately for them. Which is inside to Paul DeYoung, 1 ball and 1 strike. Okay, you're a Braves fan, so then you love it then. Yeah, we don't want him back. We got Jimmy Garcia, and we're happy with him. So, but there was a time in a day where we kind of liked him. Stanek, Santos, Munoz. But then when you started fucking blowing games and giving up home runs, we're like, fuck this guy. Get the fuck out of here. And then they booted his ass. So, bottom of the ninth, 6-3 Mariners, 2 outs, runner at first, 1-2 pitch. Popped up. And that is the ball game, baby. Final score, Mariners 6, White Sox 3. Let's go. Yes, sir. Nice job, Andres Munoz, my boy. And when the Mariners win, what do? We fucking dance. Mariners win. Mariners win. Mariners win. Let's fucking go. But I won't go get the broom like Harry Potter because I want to make sure the sports gods know that I'm really taking the Red Sox and Phillies seriously. It's not going to be easy. And again, they always know what is said and what is done. So no need for me to go to the garage and act a fool. Now, I know there's probably some Mariner fans that would, but we want to make sure that, we are supposed to beat a team like the White Sox and sweep them. I mean, hell, they're 27-81. You can't fucking sweep a team like that. You don't even deserve to be on the field, right? But again, we did lose 20 out of 29. So it's kind of nice to get back on a good winning streak, even if it's against one of the worst teams in baseball. Let's go. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. I'll be live tomorrow at 4 o'clock Pacific for game number 1 of the Mariners visiting Fenway for the Boston Red Sox. Come and hang out with your boy. I appreciate every single person that liked, donated, commented, and shared. Appreciate y'all. Final score, Mariners 6, White Sox 3. And I'm going to go take a long, long walk with my Paisley pup. There's no NASCAR for me to watch after. So I guess I'll be watching The Boys on Amazon Prime and seeing how far I can get along with that. And then we'll be live tomorrow at 4 o'clock Pacific for the Mariners and the Red Sox game number 1. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Okay.